funds from corporate
Yes,
supermarkets
it
to
was.
city-owned
Sorry, I had
grocery
to get up
stores,
for a
whose
second.
mission is lower
I
prices,
appreciate you
not
being
price
here.
gouging.
One sec.
So they're going to take
I'm
money
setting up a
from
poll.
private businesses and
Yeah.
they're going to redirect it to city-run businesses.
So I'm so sorry. I think I was piping through to YouTube there, not Twitch. I apologize. So this guy has been out here trying, and for anybody who missed me because they're watching on Twitch, and thank you, by the way. He has been out here trying to say that these stores are going to cost too much to run. Well, yeah, when we defund the stores, like Eric Adams, sure, they're going to cost, quote unquote, too much to run because we don't have money allocated for that. Secondly, what he was saying previously about these stores being a failed experiment or whatever, it's just not true. We have lots of state-run stores in different states. Specifically, I mentioned New Jersey for YouTube viewers a few minutes ago. And New Jersey has had some success, especially with state-run liquor stores. So it does help control prices and make sure that the market is tied to the means of production, right? And some of the companies that he's mentioning here, or that he's rather about to mention, have actually been looked into and investigated by the government, well, at least before a lot of the government was defunded this past year, for collusion on price setting, as have landlords. Cash, Jordan, he's a landlord, so shocking that he makes this content, right? Shocking. So shocked. So he's getting people stirred up about something that isn't a problem. And then when he's like, oh, everybody's cost of living is going to go up. No, it isn't. Thank you. Yay. I'm so glad. Oh, thank you for telling me. Yeah, no, it isn't going to go up, actually. If anything, it's going to stay the same or go down. Next, he'll be blaming gas prices on Mom Donnie for starting the war in Iran. I don't know.
Which
see.
Needed government subsidies to open in the first place, since our fees to do business here are already way too high.
And since these city-run locations don't have to pay rent, they're going to have a massive advantage, which could very well mean if you shop at Target or at Whole Foods and you enjoy...
Well, no, in New York City, they might have an advantage, which is good. And B, their prices will be lower. And C, these are multinational corporations. Why are you trying to pour one out for them preemptively? Because New York's going to have some competition for them. Competition is what capitalists like, I thought, Cash. Isn't it? Or am I mistaken here? Are you one of those monopolists?
That if these stores
It's just so
succeed,
disingenuous.
those go out of business.
In
You
my
said
opinion.
this store will open in 2029, and that the first of your grocery stores will open next year. Why is it taking so long? I feel like a bodega opens every other week across New York City.
yeah, private
in every
industry.
neighborhood. Why take so long to start?
Great
really.
question.
I think for a few reasons. The first is that we are talking about building something from the ground up. We're talking about this city's first city-run grocery store in Manhattan that we need to both design, that we also need to construct. We're also going to be constructing it using prevailing wages. And it's also one part of a larger ecosystem.
But this is the problem. You don't have to construct anything. Look, here on Avenue C in the East Village, there's what used to be a grocery store.
No, that's not true. Things like eminent domain would have to be in play for that. And you know that because you're a fucking landlord.
Why don't you just set up a grocery store in this place? You don't have to build anything. It's already there. It's already shut down. It's ready for a new tenant.
No.
But this isn't really about city-run grocery stores. It's about government control over you.
God,
So
why
not
is
just
his
in terms
face
of La
so close to the
Maqueta,
camera? It's
but
giving
also
me the
here on
ick.
this strip. We've seen the MTA has just completed
Ugh.
their work in this very area. This requires a lot of interagency and intergovernmental
let's
coordination
grow the
that we're going to be
government.
seeing. The store that will be open next year in 2027 and the additional stores that will be open by the end of
Okay.
2029
Maybe it's
will
my
not
neurotivergence. I
require
don't get it.
this same scale
Oh!
of production. The reason that we're announcing
why
this
is
is so
he
that we
mad?
can get started.
Oh, okay. So we want to open these stores and pass the savings along to everybody who's going to use them, but we're going to do it in the most expensive way possible, which is just going to result in people who live here paying more money for something they can't all use. Everybody can get to the grocery store of their choice. You want to go to Target, you want to go to Whole Foods, you want to go to Gristedes, go ahead, they're everywhere. But if you want the city-run store that we're all going to be taxed to pay for, you're going to have to go to one of the 5 locations.
So is he, I'm sorry, is he arguing for more locations or less? I'm so confused right now. Hey! I'm sorry, I'm so fucking confused right now. What is he even arguing for? Like, okay, it sounds like he's a monopolist, is what it's what I'm hearing. I don't know about you guys. I appreciate you. Thank you for telling me that. I appreciate you being here. I love you.
Mayor picks, and the first one in Harlem might not be near where you live. Look at this. This is a problem. Apparently, it's going to cost $70 million to open all these stores. Aldi could open 46 stores for that price.
Aw,
I'm just
thank you. You guys
saying.
are the best.
Zoran Mamdani moving ahead with his plan to open government-run grocery
yeah.
stores,
Aw,
announcing
thank
the first
you.
of 5 sites will be up and running.
Just FYI, I'm putting up a poll right now in terms of like what scammers should we like bait and research and do OSINT on like this week. I'm just coding everything right now on the back end. It'll be up in like just a minute because I've got, oh my god, I've got a plethora. Holy crap, there are so many.
Next year.
Fox Business
Great,
correspondent
and not
Madison
everyone can
Allworth
go,
reports
'cause
live from our New York City
they're not
newsroom.
everywhere.
A lot of people are saying it takes a year to open a grocery store.
And a
Yes,
lot of money
it
too,
does,
John.
dummy.
This first store is going to cost $30 million.
shouldn't
That's
call people dummy.
nearly half of the $70 million budget that Mayor Mamdani has proposed for
Yeah,
all 5 city-run grocery.
The
normal.
budget's going to go up for these stores.
normal.
They are going to get more expensive as
That's
time goes
literally
on.
just
And
normal,
this is
but-
not going to be affordable for anybody.
Are building
Yes, it
a
is.
brand new store
much.
on city-owned
Why
land
don't you
currently
try it
sitting
before you
empty
knock it?
in East Harlem.
It's not sitting empty. It hasn't been built yet. How's it
A
sitting empty if
neighborhood
it's
where
not
nearly
built?
40% of households receive public assistance or SNAP in the past year.
Okay, okay. So this is what I don't like about these like man on the street like investigative journalists like no, but not really YouTubers, because did he not just say, if you guys could hear on Twitch, thank you for letting me know that you couldn't, because I totally forgot I silenced myself on Twitch before. Anyway, Cash Jordan just said, like, I don't know, 2-3 minutes ago, right, that like, why aren't there more locations? There should be more locations. Oh, what, there's a store sitting empty right here. It's like, okay, but now you're saying this. I'm not understanding. What's the actual problem? Like, now you're saying, but he shouldn't be, like, what, are we saying he should be building new stores? Are we saying he shouldn't? Are we mad that old stores are sitting empty that have nothing to do with Mamdani? Are we not mad about that? Why do we keep switching this up and like whatabouting and like it's just like we're throwing in like one thing that we're mad about and replacing it with something completely different and hoping people won't notice. It just seems disingenuous. I want to give him the benefit of the doubt, but this bothers me.
Okay.
Because
It
it's on
does.
city-owned
So-
land, they will not have to pay rent on the property. Mamdani pointed out that grocery
Yeah,
prices in the
that's
city
exactly-
have increased
That's
since
how they have to do this. Like I said, otherwise there are going to be issues with eminent domain and things like that. Like, you can't set up, and he knows this, as a landlord, he knows this. You can't just set up a state-run anything like you can a privately owned business. Like, I'm sorry, you can't do that. And he's following the law. Like, if he weren't, then you'd be on him for not following the law. Like, how is he can't win no matter what he does? Like, it almost seems like you just have a problem with brown people here, bud.
pandemic, but he failed to point out how city-run grocers in other cities
it's almost
have
as
failed
if-
to actually help residents. Similar
Right.
efforts
Yeah.
in places like
Look
Kansas
at
City
these.
have struggled to stay afloat
Disasters.
despite millions in taxpayer dollars. Sun Fresh Market permanently closed this August after suffering from high crime, empty shelves, and unsustainable
crime?
losses.
So they had
Stats,
unsustainable losses and unsustainable crime. I guess these really were free grocery stores for some people. The other problem is if you've got a grocery store.
Okay, so real quick, he just walked us back after a bunch of people were commenting on and watching his videos, right? And going, hey, wait a minute, at no point did Mamdani say this was going to be a free grocery store. This is state run. That doesn't mean free groceries for everybody. It's not a freaking food pantry. Like, and now he's walking it back. But the other day he was confidently saying that Mamdani was saying he was going to give everyone food for free from the free grocery store. Which is
store, and it's already closed down. Why are you going to try to open another one there? And if
yes,
one
I
doesn't
will.
exist
Thank
there
you,
already,
thank
if
you.
the free market hasn't come in and put one there already, why is one going to succeed if the idea has no merit and nobody's actually risking anything? The city isn't risking anything by wasting everybody's money, building something that might not work. They do that all the time. That's how they operate.
So despite over $17 million in taxpayer investments since 2016, the
Wow.
project failed to provide a stable food source. But it's full steam
Yep.
ahead for city-owned grocery stores here in the Big Apple.
it should
Mom
be.
Donnie promised on the campaign trail
Yep.
the
Thank
grocery
you.
stores will be available in each borough. He says
But how is that
will
an
be accomplished by
accomplishment?
the end of his term. John?
Thank
Well, at a
you.
year to open every one of them, and he
My-
wants to open that many. I'm not quite sure if he can do that.
Okay, I think I know what the problem is. Thank you. Let me know how the volume is because, like, I'm working in such a small space. It's annoying. Let me know how the volume is because basically what I'm dealing with is like a system-wide issue where it will try to like gate my sound. And even though you can see I have like physical controls set up here and it shouldn't be an issue. I have my soundboard, I have my audio interface, I have multiple mics and cameras. Like it shouldn't be an issue, but it keeps trying to freaking gate my sound. So let me know how it sounds. Am I really loud now? I'm so sorry. It's just annoying. It's very, very irritating. And thank you for telling me. Oh, okay. Hold on. I have to code the rest of this visual poll. Okay. Thank you. You guys, thank you. Here, I'm going to, I don't, hold on. Shoot. Okay. Is that any better for me? Because I'm going to turn down the video volume. It's, I just don't want it to be like I'm screaming in everybody's ear, so I'm trying to be like a little cautious. I'm sorry, and thank you. Okay, still loud. Okay. I am so sorry. Okay, I'm turning my, ooh, crap. Okay, hold on, I'm turning me down.
It's gonna run into massive cost overruns. But just before we continue, there's something most people do not realize. If you're on Medicare, the Medicare market is rigged by incentives and not in your favor. It's a total scam. And most of the agents you see on TV or you find on Google, they are essentially bounty hunters for big insurance. They push Medicare Advantage plans even when they're not. They don't just share the amazing benefits of Medicare Advantage, they explain the pros and cons of all your Medicare options. In fact, Chapter is the only Medicare advisor that searches every single plan nationwide to find the right one for you. If you're already on the right plan, they will tell you. If not, they'll help you switch. Just last year, Chapter saved the average senior over $1,100 a year by getting them on the best fitting plan. So if you are turning 65 or already on Medicare, call Chapter today right here, 731-437-2682. Again, that's 731-437-2682. Get a second opinion on your
that was loud. I heard it.
Peace of mind. Now let's get back to the video.
I got
Some will
excited.
insist that city-owned businesses do not work, that government cannot keep up with corporations. My answer to them is simple. I look forward
it is a
to the
delay.
competition.
What the fuck? Okay, I'm gonna go in and thank you guys. I appreciate you both. I gotta love it. What the? Okay, let's see why the delay. I might know why. Okay. Shoot. I wonder if it's because of how I labeled the streams. Because I always worry, like, right? Like, okay, so, okay. basically, I always worry that, like, I don't know, I'll just be wearing like something that somebody thinks is like inappropriate, or I'll say something that's like adult language or something, and some kid will stumble in, so I label everything as like adult, even when it's not really. So I think that might make basically like a default delay. So let me look here and see each other. And by the way, Pink, I just wanted to say, this is my friend. I don't want to say your name out loud, but I appreciate you and I love you. And she's awesome. And just one of my favorite people. So Finnabar is my friend. She's awesome. So yeah, she's awesome. Love her. Gosh darn it. Okay, let us see here. Okay. I think I see what the problem is. Gosh darn it. Darn. Yeah, this is another issue, I think. Ugh, crapperoo. Okay. I'm gonna try and see how delayed it is. Oh, Finn. Okay. Just like this guy.
The first will open in East Harlem.
It's going to compete with their money against them.
Borough by the end of the mayor's term. But city involvement in grocery stores is nothing new.
New York has been in the grocery business for 100 years.
Nevin Cohen is the executive director of the CUNY Urban Food Policy Institute.
It's operated public markets around the city. It's supported green carts or push carts that sell produce in certain neighborhoods.
In fact, the city currently oversees 6 public markets where vendors rent space below market rates. One is La Marqueta in East Harlem, where the first city-run supermarket will find.
I mean, again, like if you're operating below market rates, that's because everything that, I think the news should have to know this, but maybe they don't, but like everything that the government takes advantage of, services, properties, anything, you have to come in with a bid. So it is going to essentially be like a fixed rate that like a regular citizen wouldn't get, just because that's legally how you have to do it. I doubt that it's any kind of like scam or scheme or anything. That's just how that works.
Home, a community the city says approximately 38% of households received SNAP benefits.
One important thing to make sure that this is successful is working with the community to find out what people want to buy, what they need to buy at a lower cost.
The concept is,
well, that's what a private grocery store has plenty of experience doing. But you see, the government's got to come in and they got to work with people.
No, private stores have been known to collude and jack up prices. I think you know that, though.
People to find out what they actually want to buy, and then they got to tax us all to go out and buy it and get it, and hopefully they don't run out and have empty shelves everywhere. But these people seem to think the city's going to be great at this.
Winning over some locals.
That's actually great, because most of these supermarkets around here, they don't supply good food.
But critics argue the mayor's plan will hurt small businesses like bodegas.
Of course.
They're going to hurt us more than what they're going to help. Bodega owners are not ripping people off. We're not charging excess.
There we go. Okay, what the heck? That's not going to put anybody out of business, and bodegas tend to sell more specialized items. It's not going to put anybody out of business. It's going to increase, essentially. Oh, darn it! I'm having problems here. I hear my other monitor going off. It's going to essentially increase competitiveness, which is actually like a big deal. I'm just trying to work on my sound really quick. Like, let me see if we've got here. Let me see if I can goof with this. What the heck? Okay. I think I might have to open up MIDI for that. Okay. Not true. Drift correction. I'm going to turn off drift correction. See how that is. No, no. The hell? The heck? Aw, yes. Oh my gosh, the geckos are they're so cute. They're so cute. They're so cute. Actually, that's a good question. I don't know if they have. I just want to like, I don't know. I just want to see what we can do because like, I don't know. Like, I don't know how many people actually kind of click on or message or whatever the toll scammers back or call them back. But I would imagine it would be a fair amount. Especially like maybe if you're older or just not super, maybe you're like a little tech naive, you know, maybe you would think it's really the government, right? And gosh darn it, those geckos are so cute. Oh my God. And she has the best environments for them. Like, honestly, like, yeah, you've got amazing environments for the babies. They're lucky. They are. I'm sorry. There's a video on the right here. Oh, fuck. There's a video on the right here by Tyler Oliveira, one of these other on-the-street journalist types who it just throws out really horrendous misinformation titled, sorry guys, but we're being invaded by Indians. I just don't understand, like, why do you gotta be this like discontent and like hate everything and why like why do you have to put out misinformation? Why? What, you know what I mean? Like, why? Just be kind. I don't get it. No. Yes, because what I just mentioned, which is that when you're working with the government, you have to bid on a specific price for things. So yes, this is actually an excellent idea and it will help the city immensely. Heck, it might even have ripples that go outwards just from the city to the rest of the country, to the rest of the world even. I think it's a great idea. I don't know. Right? Aw, you are the best. Thank you for being here. Finn, thank you for being here. And Finn, you too. Thank you for being here. Are you okay, Toby? Oh, good Lord. Toby was just wrapped in this. Jesus, Toby. You're gonna give mommy a fucking coronary. Jesus. Oh, hold on. Thank you. Thank you. MIDI. Let me, because I just changed that. Thank you. This is cool. This is nice. Okay. Hold on. Let's see. Okay. Let me know. Okay, let's try this. Yeah, it has. It's worked. Sorry. Sorry, like, I don't mean to be an ass. It's worked. Where the hell is my MIDI? Okay, MIDI. This is funny. What the heck? What in the world? Aww. Oh, what the hell? The fuck? This is bizarre. Why the hell? What in the world? No, I don't want drift correction on that. Wait, do I? Maybe I do want drift correction. Hold on a sec. No, it isn't. It is social democracy. That's true. Okay, I'm trying to look at the sound here. What the hell? Output.
People in Venezuela who voted for it. That's how it starts. People vote for other people's money. A machine comes in to take that money away and spend it on free stuff for the people who voted for it, and socialism.
Okay, I don't know if that's any better.
Government should work to encourage people to thrive. Yeah, and be successful. Everybody.
Okay.
It shouldn't be a matter of.
Thank you.
It should
Okay,
be equality,
it was.
not supremacy.
Haha! It was my stupid computer messing with things. I thought it was my streaming software messing with things, but it was my computer trying to like. Basically, my desktop was trying to reroute things and then correct for like drift and correct for I don't know, gating, I guess. So thank you. Oh my goodness, that's annoying. What I'm working on now, and partially for scam baiting, partially for like dev work, partially for streaming, just gaming, everything, and it's going to be a minute before it's built, is building a Threadripper workstation. So I'm working on building that. It's going to be a minute because it's not cheap, especially now, but I want to actually, if possible, just use like Linux of some sort as like the base of it so that I don't have to goof around and do all this nonsense with some like, you know, major like Microsoft or Apple or whatever. Like, I want to be able to set my own parameters and be left alone. Anyway.
A matter of
thanks. I am excited about that.
Right.
And not just having a few
I'm real
people
excited about that.
with entirely too much money.
Okay, so these people, they think that other people shouldn't make too much money. Meanwhile, there's probably people looking at them saying that they make
check your
too much
messages
money.
right
and
now.
the problem
Thank
for
you.
everybody in New York
Holy
is that
crap.
socialism
I
is coming for
apologize.
everybody's money. That's right.
Dum-dum-dum.
And the most amazing thing to me is you have all of these people who voted for all this free stuff. And
really-
the tagline was, free stuff,
whole thing.
who's going to pay for it? the rich. They're going to pay for it. But rich, what does that actually mean? We heard initially that it was just going to be millionaires and billionaires who were going to pay taxes, and then the mayor comes out of the gate and says he wants to raise property taxes across the board, and there are all of these middle-income homeowners who said, hey, wait a second, you want to raise my property tax? I'm not rich enough for that. But
well, okay, again, he's not trying. Ooh, this looks amazing. I love this. Oh my god, holy shit, this looks fucking awesome. I'm sorry, that's so cool. I love it. That's badass. Holy shit, that's cool. Thank you. Oh my god, this is so exciting. Oh, yes. No, this is awesome. Yes. And yeah, no, this is me being a neurodivergent, basically, okay? Because it's like, I'll tell somebody, if I have to break up with somebody or kind of like, you know, I don't know, end a situation, I will tell them, and then I will like avoid that platform like the plague. So that's what's been going on Signal. And then I recently kind of had to do that with an individual. I did that with a group on Signal, and I just did not want to hear the backlash about it, like a group I was working with. And then I did that on Twitch with a Discord with an individual person. So I've been like avoiding platforms like crazy, like an idiot, right? Isn't it? It's just, I don't know, maybe it is a neurodivergent thing, but like, I've been avoiding platforms like crazy, and it's not that I care like what they think. It's just I don't want almost the responsibility of having to explain myself. I don't know if that even makes sense. Okay, thank you. Like it just like I don't even want. It's like I said the thing. I was as nice as I could be. Can we please just leave it at that? And you know, oftentimes, like with this group I was working with, they don't want to leave it at that. They want to be unkind, or they want to get in the last jab, and it's just like, look, I'm just going to avoid the platform. I know you guys use disappearing messages. Let's just avoid it. Whoops, I missed your message. There you go. I know it's like, normally I'd be like, don't bitch out, but I think at that point, it's like if you're breaking up with someone or quitting an organization or something, it is what it is, and people just need to respect your choice and let you go, you know?
Problem is, yes, you are. If you own something that somebody else doesn't own, you are rich enough. That thing you own, it should be taken from you because communism doesn't believe.
He's, again, interchanging communism and socialism, and communism and democratic socialism, and socialism and democratic socialism. Those are not interchangeable terms. Communism, just basically, by and large, for anybody watching this later, is essentially the means of production are owned by the proletariat. So that is communism in a nutshell. Socialism is more along the lines of not just the proletariat, but like all everyday people should benefit from not just the means of production, but should benefit from society. It's a give and take thing. And actually, going back to communism really quick, I think this was a Karl Marx quote, but I really like it. I'm not a communist, I'm a democratic socialist, but here's the quote: from each according to his ability, to each according to his need. Like, why does that sound revolutionary to people like this guy? I don't understand. But also, socialism is not even just that. It's we give back to everyday people. From the government owes everyday people appropriate living conditions, basically. That's all. Like, healthcare is a human right. Having a house is a human right. Or a place to live safely. Okay, it's not revolutionary. I am not sure why these people get so up in arms about that. And democratic socialism is even a little bit more like mainstream than that. It's like there should at least be a public option for everything. right? Housing, healthcare, food, and that's what Mamdani is trying to create. It is not some revolutionary ass, like, I'm coming for your money thing. And also, if you're not a billionaire, don't worry about it. Like, taxing billionaires. Look, so in the 1950s in the United States, the tax on somebody at the very, very, very top 1% would have been 90% on earned income. 90%. A couple of rungs down from that, it was 50%. Now they're literally paying nothing. What are you so mad about? Nobody's even proposing to go back to that point. I think we should. But literally, this guy's here complaining about grocery stores that are state-owned. Bro, check yourself. Like, a rising tide lifts all boats. If you want to become a billionaire, which you odds are you won't, none of us probably will, I think the best thing you can do is tax billionaires so that people have a better opportunity of getting ahead. But most people find that they don't need to be a billionaire when things like this are brought into play. I mean, even like Switzerland has a decent model for this, and they're still capitalist. They're still capitalist. Like, this is just it's so much anger for nothing. Where's your anger at the war in Iran? Where's your anger about the Epstein files? None of that to be found, huh? You're just mad that people at the top of Amazon or Walmart are going to have their potentially profits cut into marginally, while they still don't pay any fucking taxes. Boo-hoo.
In private property, doesn't believe in private enterprise.
Sorry,
The mayor
and
says
yes,
he wants to come out,
I do
and he
feel
wants
like I
to
need to
see
break too
the private
much.
market try to compete
It's too much
with
for
his
me.
city-run grocery stores that have a massive unfair advantage and have
No, they
unlimited
do
amounts
not.
of everybody else's money, including the owners of those grocery stores. This is gonna be very
There's
interesting.
no
What do you think's
owners
gonna
of
happen?
the grocery
I'll see you in
stores.
the next
We're
video.
the owners, you goose. Good gravy. Anyway. Yeah. So anyway, that's the whole thing I was trying to get on about. I apologize, but it bothers me. I'm just gonna really quick go to this. You know what? Do I want to go to Tyler Oliveira? I don't know. This seems very racist. I don't even know if I want to react to that. I'm not sure. I don't know. You know what, though? I kind of do. Actually, really quick, let's do a palate cleanser. Let's react to Thought Slime's Tyler Oliveira video. Okay? He did a great video on why these mis and disinformation channels are so insidious. Or I'm sorry, I believe their preferred pronouns are they. Ooh, yeah. Let's see this.
A few weeks ago, YouTube recommended me this video. I investigated the country
They
where
do,
every drug
don't
is
they?
legal by Tyler
But then I'm meeting people, especially in Gen Z, but millennials too. And I hate to say this, but I think older people are just cooked that believe things like this. Like, I hate to say that. That sounds bad even coming out of my mouth. It feels bad. But truly, I see and hear a lot of people espousing these views. And it's like, this is not a coherent worldview. This is not logical. This is not rational. But here we are.
Oliveira. Now, if you look in the background
a
of that
lot.
thumbnail, you can see a little Canadian flag.
That's a lot.
And that's strange because I happen to know for a fact that Canada has not made all drugs legal. And I know that because I live in Canada and I'm not allowed to do a lot of the drugs that I would like to do. What a strange title for a YouTube video, I thought to myself out loud. How did he come to the conclusion that Canada legalized all drugs? And how did that conclusion survive what he calls an
Rigorous
investigation?
scrutiny?
I
Oh,
was
an investigation.
nowhere near prepared for the rabbit hole this video sent me down. I went on a real journey. Observe the runtime of this video and compare that to the 14-minute video I am responding to. Turns out he's talking about Vancouver, a city within Canada, not a country.
You're
Seems
telling
like
me
that
Vancouver
a
isn't all
pretty
of
obvious
Canada?
oversight.
I'm
Seems like
shocked. I want
easy
my money
error
back.
to avoid, and more accurately, it does seem like he's talking about only a few streets in Vancouver that he walked
and
around
listening
for
and
a
doing
couple
some
of
dev work,
afternoons. The natural question which arises is why not title the video "I investigated the city where every drug
Yes,
is legal"?
there
And
you are.
obviously, it's because he already had a video titled that about Portland, Oregon. So instead of coming up with a more accurate clickbait title, he just kind of calls Vancouver a country. I guess that's more shocking and clickable. Feels like that should tip people off about his journalistic accuracy, but I don't see people talking about that in the comment section, and I've scrolled for a very long time, and I feel like I'm losing my marbles. What, is he deleting
how I
comments
feel.
that point this out? How is nobody talking about the fact that Vancouver is not a country? That's such a huge detail to get wrong right up front. I did what I usually do in these situations. I put this video in my little document of videos to respond to eventually, because I'm a little content goblin. I got a horde of bad videos to talk about, and I knew it was going to be pretty bad. Look at
love
this
them so
fucking
much.
thumbnail. Warning, all drugs are
Ugh.
legal. Who put that sign up? Like, nobody did. I'm
In
not a
Vancouver,
moron. I
right?
realize it's
Just
a
sitting
Photoshop.
there.
In the
Welcome
fiction this
to
thumbnail is presenting, who
All
put that
drugs are
sign there? The government? This video, and Tyler's content in general, is some of the most sickening stuff I've ever seen on YouTube. Some of the most sickening propaganda I've seen, period. And I've read the Turner Diaries for this channel. I'm not easily shocked.
Damn.
So who is Tyler Oliveira? He styles himself a YouTuber turned investigative journalist, which is strange for a number of reasons, not the least of which is that he's still clearly a YouTuber. His alleged investigative journalism still takes place on YouTube. In the past, he mostly did silly challenge videos, draining a pool with paper towels, surviving the ocean for a week, flying across America on a Charizard, that kind of stuff. Basic
Mr.
Mr. Beast wannabe shit, which makes sense
Oh,
because
there you
Tyler's
go.
big break was appearing in some Mr. Beast videos, but last February, his content took a dramatic shift into serious big boy journalism. He's
I'm sorry.
investigated all sorts of hard-hitting topics, such as an underground city of
I'm
mole
dead.
people, Area
No,
51,
they shouldn't.
whether or not
I
America
agree.
did 9/11, and a whole lot of
I
videos about
agree.
places where there are a lot of homeless people,
the hell?
criminals, or drug users. And he does it with about as much tact as you'd expect from the man who executive produced Big Chungus the Game.
Oh,
Look at
God.
this shit. I
That's a lot.
investigated the city of real-life zombies.
What?
I don't think he did. Realistically speaking, I don't think that's what happened. Spoiler, he's talking about drug users. When he says
God.
real-life zombies, he means drug users. I don't need to tell you that he's dehumanizing drug users here, because here he is, literally saying they are not human.
Also, you might notice a pattern with all of the stock photos that Tyler uses in his thumbnails of criminals. See if you can figure out the pattern.
Tyler defends
That's
making videos about drug users and homeless
bad.
people and other vulnerable
That is
people
all black and
by saying
brown
that you'd have to be a
people.
real dum-dum to think this kind of content is something he's doing for money. He knows so much about YouTube, he could make money doing anything, even, in his words, meaningless non-educational drivel that he has done and still does on occasion. Look, if I was just interested in making money, I'd just make useless garbage, which I only do sometimes. And that is a strange claim for him to make, because if we go
I'm
ahead
glad
and sort
there are
his
people
content
like
by
you
most
guys and-
popular,
and
3
this
out of
person
10 of
here
his
that
most viewed
exists. I
videos
just wanna
are
say
about
that.
homeless people and drug users, and those are
my
the only
camera keeps
videos among that
goofing.
top 10 that are less than a year old. They do seem to be his most popular content. So then, hey,
That's
how come,
unfortunate.
having done so many different kinds of videos with all sorts of different Pokemon, why is it that someone with your knowledge of YouTube, who could cover anything, find yourself in such a position where your most popular videos are on this supposedly difficult to
Audience
profit off of
capture.
topic? It does actually kind of seem like that's the easiest way to generate revenue on YouTube, dog. For you, anyway. Because you seem to have tried everything else, and this is the thing that worked. I could be wrong. Maybe I just don't know enough about YouTube to know why actually getting 10 million views is bad for you. Tyler typically does not
Ooh,
defend himself when
interesting.
criticized, but instead tries to find
Okay.
some reason to discredit his critics. Anything from them getting a high salary to them thinking they do good in the world, which is bad to think. Tyler, if you're watching and want to discredit me, first of all, not necessary. I mean, look at me. Secondly, I once made a video where I justified shoplifting, so use that.
Yeah, there
Given
you
what I
are.
have told you so far, would it surprise you to learn that Mr. Oliveira has, in fact, exaggerated in order to push a sensationalist narrative? That he got the most basic, fundamental facts about the situation in Vancouver wrong
You're
in
okay, good
every
boy.
way? In addition to not
Yeah,
being a
that's
country,
sad, dude.
Vancouver has not made every drug legal. Shocking, I know. That is not what someone in the journalism profession might call true. British Columbia, the province that Vancouver is within, also not a country, has decriminalized possession of less than 2.5 grams of specifically opioids, cocaine, MDMA, and methamphetamine. You may not distribute these drugs. You may not sell these drugs. They are not, in any sense, legal.
Right.
They are not sold in stores. You cannot buy cocaine at Walmart. All that's happened, the big thing he's making this video about
Legally,
is
at
that
least.
from 2023 to 2026, Health Canada has granted adults in British Columbia a temporary exemption from criminal charges for possession of less than 2.5 grams of these drugs.
Yeah,
It's
that's
still
not
illegal.
legalization.
It's just that you won't be prosecuted for possession of small amounts for personal use under most circumstances, unless you're like by a school or something. All of this information is available on the website for the province of British Columbia. It is the first Google result for drug decriminalization in BC. It's pretty easy to find out. If you don't want to read a single web page, they have condensed it
good boy,
into a
Toby.
one-page
I love
fact sheet which outlines all of this, and
Good
so it's not cryptic information. It's not something you need a law degree to understand. They kind of laid it all out in plain English for you to investigate journalistically. So that's the lying he did in the title of his video. All of those inaccuracies are contained within
That's too bad,
9
man.
words, 6 of which are lies. This is not a country. The law does not represent every drug. None of them are legal. And he certainly did not investigate any of this.
This is
Probably a
Vancouver,
fair
Canada, a city
assessment.
that made every drug legal. Drug addiction, overdoses, homelessness, and crime.
Keep driving, drive.
Again, Vancouver did not make every drug legal. We've covered the several discrete lies in that claim. Let's move on to some of his new lies. He claims that addiction, overdoses, homelessness, and crime are all side effects of decriminalization. And that's a pretty big claim to throw around without citing any evidence at any point throughout the entire video to support it. He's trusting that you'll take his word for it because he shows video footage with what we are to assume are examples of these problems. He walked around with a video camera and saw homeless people doing drugs, ergo, decriminalization has backfired. Obviously, many people in Vancouver are drug users, and ergo, tragically, they do overdose. There is also crime and
Because
homelessness
of
in
the war on
Vancouver
drugs
as there is in
and drugs
any city.
being illegal.
It's worth pointing out, neither Vancouver or British
Really
Columbia
quick,
are like
I say this all the time, but harm reduction is really the only successful means of stopping essentially the drug market, by making sure that people get safe access to what they need or want to use. That's up to them, not us. And to make sure that they are educated on the downsides of using it. And then, of course, implementing like a taxation structure. And that's the only way to truly stop all of these alleged epidemics of drug use, when really it's an epidemic of the war on drugs. That's all it is. It bothers me. Like I've said before, Switzerland does it right. Uruguay is moving towards doing it right. Portugal a little bit, Germany a little bit, moving towards doing it right. We're making progress. Canada a little bit, like he said, with decriminalization, but we really need to work on actual harm reduction. That's just my opinion. Blah, blah, blah. Shut up, lady. Anyway.
the worst places in Canada for any of this. The most drug use is in the prairies, for example. The most overdose deaths are in Toronto, because Toronto's the most populous city in Canada, and it's
And thank you,
certainly
by
not
the
as
way.
though any of these problems
I
began
appreciate ya.
when BC decriminalized these drugs, which I know because
that's
they
what I
decriminalized
appreciate
these drugs in an effort to mitigate these exact problems.
we
Once
ever
again,
monitor
according to the
going?
website
Yes, we
for
do.
British Columbia's page on the exemption, which I cannot stress enough, is the first Google result for drug decriminalization in British Columbia. The decriminalization of people who possess certain illegal drugs for personal use is a critical step in BC's fight against the toxic drug crisis. It will help reduce the barriers and stigma that prevent people from accessing. So, it's not like they're just saying, I don't know, make the drugs safer somehow, like you're claiming here.
The city's goal was to make using drugs safer by making them legal.
If you're struggling with drug dependency, one thing that might prevent you from accessing life-saving support and services is the fear of getting arrested or already being in jail. Drug dependency is a disease, and it's a little fucked
And
up,
it's not
in
the
my
same as
opinion,
addiction.
to
They're
arrest
two
someone
different
because they have a
things.
disease. Or,
Two
to
different
put that
things.
another way, substance use is a public health matter, not a criminal justice issue. Public health experts, police, and advocates have called for decriminalization, pointing to a range of potential benefits.
Yeah,
Just to place all of
that's
this
true.
in context, BC is in the middle of what it calls the toxic drug crisis, which the province declared to be a public health emergency in 2016, and it has since claimed the lives of 13,000 people. So, A range of experts, including such soft-on-crime police-hating institutions as the Canadian Association of Chiefs of Police, advised the province to decriminalize certain drugs, and just pause to reflect on how bad a drug crisis needs to be before even the police are like, ooh, maybe arresting people isn't working.
The city's goal was to make using drugs safer by making them legal, but many Canadians think it's done the exact opposite.
Many Canadians think it's done the opposite. Okay, many Canadians think Tim Hortons coffee tastes good. That doesn't make it so. So on the one hand, we have a range of specifically public health experts saying one thing with data from other places that have made similar changes, and on the other, many people. Where are those people?
Where are they?
Why do those people think it's bad?
this?
What do they have to say? Who knows? It's all just a matter of opinion. So we got to get boots on the ground and see for ourselves. What does that prove? It's not as though he did a similar walkabout of downtown Vancouver before these measures went in place. Even if it were hell on earth now, how can he say for sure it wasn't even worse before decriminalization? I'm not a professional investigator. So far be it from me to act like I know better, but a supplemental approach I might suggest is looking at any information on the subject at all. Below are some tables from the BC Coroner Service for deaths due to illicit drug overdose. The yellow line represents Vancouver. Can you tell from these graphs when the exemption went in place? Where law and order began to break down and Vancouver became a haven for the damned? What about here? Does that look like a big spike to you?
Actually,
Seems
no.
pretty consistent with the trend before
like
the
it's going down
exemption
a
to me.
bit.
Overdoses have increased, of course, as indeed they have every year since 2019. And if we exclude 2019, so too have they done every year since 2013. I guess decriminalization is just such a bad policy, it made the drugs go back in time and kill people 10 years ago. What about just general drug use? Well, that's harder to measure, but if we look at Health Canada's analyzed drug report from January to March 2023, where we would expect the largest increase in illicit drug use, if indeed the root cause were decriminalization, there was a 12% decrease in illicit drugs found in samples tested in BC, which might sound good, but it's much worse than the national figure, which showed a decrease of 23%. And we also saw a 19% increase in stimulant drugs, as opposed to the 7% increase nationally. Not great numbers, I'll admit. But also, seems kind of like that's just how the trend was going. Well, what about crime? Surely crime has gotten worse. Surely these real-life zombies are out there killing and eating people. The narcs over at Stay Safe Vancouver looked at police data, which reports that in the first quarter of 2023, again, where we would expect the greatest increase if, indeed, the root cause were decriminalization, assaults were down by 2.1%, robberies by 7%, thefts remained steady, home break-ins and auto break-ins were down, but alarmingly, property crime was up 7%. So it's basically the purge, because if there's one crime that I'm really scared of when I hear of high rates of drug use, it's vandalism. A quick note here, I'm not typically one to rely on information supplied to me by police, as the police are demons, but generally, it is in their best interest to, if anything, overrepresent crime.
Absolutely.
Their budget is contingent on there being a lot of crime, so they can say they need a lot of police and police toys to deal with it. Well, what about homelessness? According to the Metro Vancouver point-in-time count for 2023, homelessness has increased 32%.
Really?
Since 2020, which was the last time this data was collected. And if you look at the data, it's pretty consistent with the trend once again. But it needs to be said, this is the biggest upward jump between surveys since 2005. Perhaps, at least partially because, and younger viewers may not remember the year 2020, but there was this huge fucking plague that destroyed the world economy. Of those surveyed, 24% of people attribute their homelessness specifically to substance use, which some of you math whizzes out there might note is not enough people to account for this dramatic uptick. I can find no evidence whatsoever of an appreciable spike in any of these statistics that is inconsistent with general trends. I've also gone out of my way to present these statistics in a greater context, even when that diminishes my argument. And what he's saying here is, and let's put this charitably, not demonstrated by the data. It's also pretty wild how easily he could have used this information selectively to paint a damning picture. All of the numbers have gotten worse. You could just say that and not mention the context, but he's too late.
Some of the, just in case anyone's looking at my code, I am changing some of the headless, the headless browser, like URL, headless access rather, metadata and headers, and so I'm also whitelisting specific domains for Straight Line Vault to be able to get information from. Again, legally, it's not just like some web scraper. It's an actual search platform. It's vault.straightlinedatalabs.com. I have re-enabled the account creation page, and anybody can use it. You just go to web ingest, and then you enter your search terms. And if you don't want to make your own case name, that's fine. That's totally cool. One will be generated for you, and then you can either go into cases to look at the information that came through into the case that you just created when you ran your search, or you can even look at it right there after hitting search, right there in the web ingest platform. Or if you're looking for specific data that has been ingested into the vault, like maybe you're looking through a huge corpus, a huge amount of files, like the Epstein files, you can actually search for specific search terms on the Vault search function, and it will actually give you that information to a very specific extent. So I'm proud of it. I'm trying to ingest all the Epstein files in, and I had to whitelist the FBI and DOJ domains again, because obviously they want to keep out actual bad data scraping websites and bots and stuff.
Is it even
So
do
anyway,
that?
that's what I'm
Like
doing.
literally the
That's what I'm
only time
doing
he shows any numbers or
right
any
now.
data for any of this,
And
he just
thank you.
cribs an
Appreciate you
infographic
guys.
from CTV, and CTV was citing the coroner service report I already mentioned. This is what he calls investigative journalism.
Oh,
I should
God.
also point out I don't yet have access to a lot of data for 2023, so it's hypothetically possible that Tyler's baseless assertions might be proven correct in the future.
Fair enough.
But as
There
of
you go.
now, it sure seems like they won't.
wonder.
And either way, he doesn't have access to them either, so it's kind of irresponsible to just pull this out of your ass. We're 15 seconds into the video, and we've already debunked its entire central premise with a few minutes of work, so I'm starting to question how thorough Tyler's
And
investigation
thank you for
is going
saying
to
that.
be.
So I went to downtown
I
Vancouver with my
really-
friend Kevin, a social
I
worker.
really appreciate that so much, and honestly, like, I'm excited about this because, oh my gosh, the search capabilities on Straight Line Vault, holy cow, they are so good. Like, if you search the same search terms in Google, DuckDuckGo, whatever, I'm proud to say, and I'm continuing to improve all those features and the functionality and just get everything bigger and better, free to use, etc. By the way, if anybody's watching this later, but you'll get way better results if you enter the same search terms into Google and into DuckDuckGo. You'll get better results with Straight Line Vault than you will anywhere else, which I'm proud of. I love it.
And drug addiction specialists to see the impact decriminalizing drugs has had on the city.
Wow. My
So this is
server's
Kevin
being a little
Dahlgren.
goofy
Dahlgren
here.
does not live in or
I hate
work in
them
Vancouver
goofy.
or British Columbia or Canada, for that matter.
Alrighty.
He works for the city of Gresham, Oregon, as a homeless services provider. Well, as of March, he no longer works for Gresham. We will return
Yeah.
to why later.
That's
My point
interesting.
here is that he's not a local, which makes his inclusion in this documentary a little strange.
Odd,
Why
yeah.
not get a local social worker?
For
Surely
sure.
they'd have a more relevant perspective on the subject of Vancouver. Makes you wonder, doesn't it? And you're just going to have to bear with me for a little while because we need to take a look at Kevin Dahlgren. This is the point in the video where it will become
Okay.
clear to you just how deep a rabbit hole I found myself within for this video. This is the part where things will begin to go off the rails. At first blush, Kevin comes across as a deeply compassionate person, eager to roll up his sleeves and make a difference in his community. You can find lots of videos of him giving money to people who need it, and a lot of videos of vulnerable people saying he was the first person who reached out to help. Videos, of course,
Good,
that
that's wonderful.
he uploaded on his
Oh,
YouTube channel and his
gotcha,
Twitter
okay.
page.
Well, okay.
Feels a little exploitative, but maybe I'm just being too cynical. Because Kevin campaigns tirelessly against what he calls the homeless industrial complex, a confluence of civil, political, and commercial interests, which he believes throws money and resources at the problem of homelessness to line their own pockets without addressing it in any meaningful way.
The homeless industrial complex has spent billions of dollars trying to solve a problem they do not understand. Most money in homeless services goes toward the Housing First model citation needed. The idea is that by immediately giving a homeless person a roof over their head, meeting their basic needs, they are more likely to change. But this costly approach doesn't work.
friendly
since they are not
approach
required to
doesn't
change the
work.
behaviors that led them to
What?
and kept them on the streets, the success rate of the
gravy.
Housing First model is low. Citation
Jeez
needed. I don't
Louise.
know if being homeless is exactly conducive to proper mental health, Kevo. I do feel like, you
No
know,
kidding.
if you don't have shelter, it's kind of hard to do that deep work on yourself. But I don't know. What do I know? It's not like, you know, every time they ever just do a study where they give homeless people money directly, that seems to have an enormous success rate. Because that, if that were true, that would contradict everything you're saying.
Right?
And
Yeah, sure, yeah, no. Unhoused people deserve much more substantial help than they currently receive pretty much anywhere. I agree with you on that. But then he starts to lose me when he says stuff like, multiple homeless have said that the system is loving us to death. They hate the idea that they're being enabled.
That's kinda
They may
ugly.
not say no to it, but they still don't like it. What they want is
little
to be
ugly.
empowered. They want responsibility.
Okay.
They want accountability. Oh! If you've struggled with
Not the
homelessness, please
so cute.
let me
Or
know
they're
if I'm
so
out of
cute.
line here.
He
But
slash they are
actually,
so cute.
I think the main thing they probably want is a home.
Yeah, no kidding,
Because
man.
that's a safe, clean place to sleep and shower and use the bathroom and keep your stuff. Just an educated guess on that. And I don't know. Something about the way he said homeless instead of homeless people, that felt really strange to me. As though he's going out of his way not to have to mention that they're people. And that is not what you'd expect from someone who styles themselves as this compassionate defender of the downtrodden. And so I started to look into it, and it is something he does pretty consistently.
go.
Like, for example, in this report, he was contracted to create for the Deschutes County Sheriff's Office in Oregon.
we're
Throughout,
seeing it
he
come in
refers
real
to
time.
unhoused people as simply homeless, even in sentences where that doesn't really make any sense. Of the times he refers to homeless people in this report, he uses just homeless or the homeless 17 times. He uses the word
yes, I do.
homeless
Thank you
man
for
twice,
asking.
and
Yes,
homeless
I do.
person once. But something else stuck out at me when I read
So,
this.
you can use regex. You can use, like, literal Google dorking, like you said. Well, I guess just dorking in this case. And you can also use, basically... Oh, I love that, by the way. God damn it. That is so much nicer than what it seems like Tyler Oliveira and this guy on his channel were promoting. Like, that is so nice. I like that. That's wonderful. And it's humane. I'm just, for a quick second, I have to turn my video off because I don't want to get canceled for taking meds. Not that there's anything exciting that I'm taking, but hey, you never know. You never know with the YouTubes and the Twitches and all of that. But, God, I hate that, though, that it, you know, like you said, that it hasn't stuck. Pardon me. I love that. You know, here in the U.S., we don't even, I'm not going to lie, we don't even bother with it. We let people freeze on the street. There was this lovely lady who, I hope she's doing okay. I hope she's doing well. But she had a YouTube, or not YouTube, sorry, an Instagram channel for a while, and she would literally show herself going out and sleeping in tents with the unhoused people until the city took action, which is freaking amazing. Oh, yes, hell yeah, Sadiq, that's amazing. God, yeah, it just, these poor people are freezing to death. One quick second, I have to grab one of my meds. I'll be right back. I will be right back. Do-do-do. Good boy, Toby, you're okay. I'm coming through, though. I'm coming through, buddy. Good boy. Good boy. Hi, baby. Hi, buddy. I'm coming through, okay? There's a good boy. I love you, bub. He's my puppy dog. Yes, he is. And yes, I will. Thank you. Here I am. Okay. Oh man, my chronic pain, man, it sucks. It's not fun. Oh, here, I'm gonna actually put that up. Thank you for asking. Wow, my vision. Okay, let's say I'll just label it and pin it, the AKA, it does, doesn't it? Ugh. Fuck. It is. God, it's people, well, I think a lot of people like you understand, but yeah, it's bad. Okay. Wait, am I gonna get caught in my own filters? Let's see. No, okay. I whitelisted it on Twitch too, just so that nobody could be like, oh, thank you for like just being, asking, basically. I feel weird about like, I'm very like, outgoing and extroverted, but I feel weird like hyping up anything that I've like made, basically. I don't know why. It's just me. It's a thing. I don't know. Just don't ask me why. Okay. God, these pants are like so big. Pardon me. I've got to itch myself here. I'm just gonna hide as much as I can. Ugh. One of my chronic illnesses is actually psoriasis, and I don't want to like scratch myself on air, but it's really, really painful and it's itchy as hell. Okay. It's so annoying. It's just so fucking annoying. And then you have like associated arthritis and shit like that, and it's just a whole thing with that. Anyway, blah, blah, blah,
The report also has a lot of rudimentary spelling and grammar errors, something I knew going in because a lot of the things I'd read about him brought that up. I wasn't prepared for just how ubiquitous and frankly baffling.
Every time Toby's friend is outside, he begs to go out. We'll see if he notices.
Some of them were. I've started doing extensive mapping of Deschutes County with the goal in counting as many homeless as possible. And that's the first sentence of the report, by the way. The first sentence has a typo. For 12%, tell report having contact with an outreach worker offering help with housing. I have spoke to 35 of them. I have spoke to 16 homeless. He got a job in Eugene where his family lives. The Snow live with that family. At first, you might be wondering why I'm talking about the typos in some random report this guy wrote, which seems kind of petty, right? Seems like I'm grasping at straws here. But the thing is, he was paid $18,750 of taxpayer money to create this report. A report, the first paragraph of which contains the sentence, when possible, I do an assessment and learn as much as possible, which is not only redundant, it also implies there are times where he does not do an assessment or learn as much as possible. I, like many Deschutes County officials, am a little confused about why this report was commissioned in the first place. The information he was contracted to collect was already recorded, much more thoroughly and professionally, by the 2023 Central Oregon Point in Time count. His information conflicts with theirs quite heavily, and I'm inclined to believe them, because you can watch an hour-long YouTube video where their methodology and results are meticulously outlined. They have copies of the forms they used, recordings of the training they gave to volunteers, all made freely available.
This is like,
whereas Dahlgren's methodology is a little less transparent, because it seems to me like he was walking around and counting stuff by hand. It also seems like it was just him doing it, because at one point when talking about the Lapines area, he says, I have not mapped the areas with the highest concentration of homeless. They are in the deep woods, and am getting an escort there soon. I didn't do this on purpose, but like, literally every quote I pulled from this report, quotes that I had to cite for context, had at least one typo. I don't want to speculate, but it kind of feels like Dahlgren's report was commissioned in order to push a political narrative. There's a lot of him just half remembering anecdotes and making some claims he doesn't even attempt to substantiate. Like, for example, the overall consensus with the homeless I've met so far, 63.8% of the homeless I have met came from outside the county. They came for a variety of reasons. Many have told me they are here of the lax rules and the decriminalization of drugs.
So we might need to download text or go to
How many told you they are here of that? Who can say? I mean, you could say. But you don't.
The last sentence of the report is also this curious little nugget. 7% of the homeless report addiction as the leading cause of their homelessness. I believe it is closer to 75% of all adults currently homeless in Deschutes County. That's what you do when you're paid $18,000 to do a survey, is you just guess. You just assume the data you got is off by a factor of 10 based on vibes. Are you starting to get the impression that maybe this guy has an interest in portraying homelessness as primarily the result of drug addiction? Are you getting the impression that maybe he's willing to exaggerate to push that narrative based on him saying he's doing that here in his report that he submitted for $18,000?
There is a bizarre fixation in this report with whether or not whether the homeless he's counting are from the same county, which might seem like just an academic interest or at worst a weird little personal bugaboo, unless you're familiar with the ways that conservatives like to lie about homeless people. They love to pretend that homeless people just appear whenever a liberal government does liberal stuff. They move to wherever the libs make the conditions best for the homeless, like mosquitoes looking for poorly drained swimming pools. In reality, you will typically find a lot of people from other places among homeless populations because if you think about it for like a fucking second, you're more likely to become homeless somewhere where you have less of a support network, where you don't have family or old friends like one might in their hometown or place of origin. This man, who we are to believe is a homelessness expert, seems to think that homeless people have a disproportionately robust and up-to-date knowledge of city policy all across the country, which they use to migrate en masse to wherever the wacky libs get up to their old tricks again, as though homelessness is just the result of people deciding that the benefits of homelessness they receive thanks to government handouts outweigh the negatives. You see, according to Kevin, they're simply not motivated to get a home, because the city will give them food anyway, so why bother? Why would you need a home if you've already got a sandwich? Why not just stay homeless? It's so easy. Easy living. That's what homeless people are known for. I'm not editorializing, by the way. He literally claims homeless people have it too easy. He had a video on his YouTube channel go viral where he interviewed a woman named Wendy who had this to say.
So how is it like being homeless?
See what we need to change up a little bit. Well, what I want to change a little.
A piece of cake, really.
Oh,
that's
bullshit.
why you probably got so many out here, because
that doesn't sound correct at all.
You 3 meals a day. You don't have to do shit but stay in your tent or party.
And frankly, so what if that were the case?
In a follow-up interview, Wendy said that she felt that this was framed inaccurately and that the video portrayed this as her personal
I just found
experience
something.
rather
I
than
didn't
her
see this.
anecdotal
I didn't know this was
observation about
happening.
others.
Okay.
And I find that telling, that even the people who agree with this narrative, the people that Kevin is using to launder this
Bondi's gonna have
narrative,
to testify
feel it is
now.
used to misrepresent the problem and dehumanize them. And it's all a sort of a contradiction, right? Because if he believes that unhomed people are not being adequately supported, and again, I agree, but also thinks that providing them with food or necessities creates dependency
Based on
and
the
stops them
criteria
from
she's
becoming
using,
responsible,
I think
empowered,
she's gonna
and
get called
accountable,
before
whatever that means.
the host.
Accountable to whom? What's the solution then? What support do you think is needed? In Kevin's view, the best way to help unhoused people is to individually intervene one by one, solving personal problems in their life that prevent them from getting off the street. Each person is like a quest in a video game, a little puzzle where you get the right item or fulfill the right set of steps, and that fixes the problem forever. In his report, he lists what he calls success stories of people that he's helped in this way, something I don't feel like is in the mandate of that report. For example, the Santiago family, who he did a fundraiser to help get a new car part they needed to move on, like their fucking ghost. And he's solving their unfinished business so they can go to the other side. I'm not really sure why providing people with food creates dependency, but providing them with car parts wouldn't, but okay. That's certainly commendable. In general, I'm in favor of people getting their cars fixed. There are, however, some problems with this approach. For one, it's not really scalable, right? Like, it requires far too much time to be reasonably applied to each and every person who needs this kind of help. For another, I think there are a lot of people whose problems are going to run deeper than needing a car part and who will require some more sophisticated support than an individual social worker might be able to provide. And also, many social workers don't have big YouTube accounts they could use to solicit for donations. But worse than any of that, to me, it seems to put these people in a very vulnerable position where they're dependent on one person alone who could easily use this power to manipulate them, or worse. Now, I don't say any of that to impugn Kevin Dahlgren's reputation or to diminish the good work he may have done in the past.
Right. Right.
But hypothetically, if I were interested in impugning his reputation and diminishing the good work he may have done in the past, I might point out Kevin Dahlgren is currently charged with 7 counts of identity theft and 5 counts of official misconduct for, allegedly, stealing the identity of homeless people who came to him for help in his capacity as a homeless service provider. So, that's not encouraging. Oh, also, the investigation into this alleged fraud started before he was contracted by the Deschutes County Sheriff's Office, so they just didn't look into him at all before deciding to hand him $18,000 so he could walk around, count RVs, and give them a PDF without spell checking it. Also, hey, remember the Santiago family? The ones Kevin held a fundraiser for? Turns out they didn't actually make it to the other side, or Alaska, like he said in the report. And of the thousands of dollars Dahlgren claimed to have raised through solicitations on his YouTube page, they say they only received $900. And that's not fun. The fund has not been raised at all. So, all of this to say, this is the man that Tyler Oliveira brought on as his expert, the man whose credibility we are meant to lend to this video, a man who he invites along in a conspicuous amount of videos rather than speaking with, I don't know, a local social worker. Seems, to put it mildly, a little bit shady. Of course, when they filmed this, Dahlgren had not yet been formally charged. We can't expect Tyler to know the future or to vet his sources, and when this was brought to his attention, he responded like I think any journalist would, by calling the person who told him stupid and asking whatever happened to innocent until proven guilty. Okay, so let's all just agree for the sake of argument that it would be impossible for Tyler to call up Dahlgren's employers in Gresham and ask why he'd been put on administrative leave.
Sorry,
let's
I'm
pretend
over here
that's
doing
an
some
unreasonable
coding
thing
and
to
goofing
expect
around.
from an investigative journalist. Let's also pretend that
Sorry,
the
one
phrase
sec,
innocent
one sec,
until
one
proven
sec.
guilty is like a rule of etiquette instead of what it is, a rule of impartial jurisprudence. Don't you think that once you discover that someone has been...
You can use it basically... Holy cannoli. I'm sorry. I need to stop this thing and then get back into my server. Yeah, you can use it in ingest. You should be able to use it in the query section. But I am working on building actual specific pages where you can or tabs where you can essentially go there and use it just there. It's got all the tools for you, but right now you can use it all under the query section. I am right now though, sorry, I hate talking and doing things. I'm so bad at it. I mean, I don't mind it. I hate the result of it. We'll put it that way. But basically, I'm working on building it out in a more, specific way. But right now you can kind of do it all right there. That said, right now I'm trying to tighten the parameters essentially for search for web ingest specifically. Good gravy. Also, okay, I'm gonna. I'll talk to you about this later. Anyway,
specifically with fraud, it might be a bad idea to present them to your audience of millions of people uncritically and specifically link to the page where they solicit money without mentioning that fact.
And if you want to support Kevin, go check out his YouTube channel at Truth on the Streets, or help support his work directly and donate at truthonthestreets.org.
Don't you think that might affect how your audience perceive him and his reputation? Don't you think they have a right to have that information before deciding whether to give him their money? And furthermore, let's just keep it tucked away in the old brain meat that Tyler believes so strongly and innocent until proven guilty. Just remember that fact in case, I don't know, he or Kevin repeatedly, baselessly accuse people, or indeed multiple people, of doing crimes. We're now 30 seconds into the video.
Jeez Louise.
I hope you're starting to understand the depth of bullshit we're dealing with here.
Or smoking fentanyl, smoking crack out here.
Yeah, it's
just
the most
straight fentanyl, straight meth, straight crack.
It's definitely the most concentrated group of people of any city you and I have ever visited.
This is the meat of the video.
I'm pulling some
They just walk around
data here.
narrating their experience. They'll describe things that they're seeing that they don't actually film. He claims people are smoking fentanyl and crack everywhere, but neglects to show that. And that's certainly not out of respect for the privacy of people he's filming, because He has no issue filming people without their knowledge or consent, as we will see, nor can I find anything in YouTube's terms of service that would prevent them from showing this type of drug use unless specifically shown to glorify or promote its sale. So, either they're exaggerating, or they just didn't film any of the drug use that was happening everywhere just out of frame, trust me, bro. Because I guess they didn't want the documentary to look interesting. You know, they were focused on the airy part. The document part, that they could take or leave. You will also notice a sort of gleefully amazed tone. They talk about how intense all of this is, how scary, all while seeming weirdly pleased about it. Kevin walks by an office building and says this.
Yeah, we've only done one block. We've been out here for 5 minutes. It's just complete chaos. There's offices right here. Can you imagine working here full time?
Kevin, you're a homeless services provider, or, you know, you were before the criminal charges. This shouldn't shock you. It's telling that we're not invited to sympathize with any of the drug users or homeless people, but instead the people who have to work around them. Imagine working here and having to see this every day. Don't imagine living it, but just imagine having to see it. Gross! Disclaimer cards claim that this is all for educational purposes and presented in a truthful, non-exploitative way. And that's always a good sign when you have to specify in a disclaimer that your footage is presented truthfully. Then, shortly after explaining how all of this is true and real, trust me, bro, he then claims to have inhaled secondhand fentanyl, or maybe meth.
That's not
I think are just on this street right here.
Roughly between 100 people.
100 people? Well, I appreciate you guys' time.
That's
I'm
just
gonna
not
move
a
out of the
real
way just a little
thing.
bit. Hey, you think I inhaled meth just now?
That's what it smelled like.
I low-key think I inhaled some. Did I do meth just now?
Well,
No,
I feel a little
you
lightheaded. I'm
didn't,
holding on to you for a reason.
We don't see any smoke. We didn't see the person who supposedly is smoking
Just
it,
out of frame,
and
trust me,
tee-hee,
bro.
look how funny it all is. Ha-ha, hee-hee. And this leads to, I think, the most incomprehensible sequence in the video, where Tyler walks into a
hate it.
random convenience store and claims that seeing bongs and lighters is evidence of local businesses profiting off of the drug crisis.
In hopes of escaping the fumes of meth I just inhaled, I walked into a nearby convenience store and noticed it was filled with pipes, bongs, torches, and every other tool a drug addict might need to fuel their drug addiction.
He gets kicked out of the store, told he's not allowed to take pictures, but nonetheless records video anyway. A bit later, the store owner comes out and argues with him. He then claims to that man's face to have deleted all of the footage he took in the store, even though he obviously didn't. We just saw that footage. He lied to his face.
Why are you selling torches?
I didn't pay for the taxi.
Okay, then what's the problem?
I'm not saving the cash.
Yeah, we deleted everything. Just go walk away.
Which seems like something a journalist should not do, and does call into question your personal honesty. He then claims to have caught him selling pipes and torches.
He's pissed because we caught him selling pipes and torches in his convenience store, capitalizing on the drug epidemic out here.
I don't think a lot of hard drug users are going to be buying bongs shaped like Baby Yoda to smoke meth in the street, actually. I think those are for weed, which is legal in Canada. Not like the way that you pretended all drugs are in Canada, but like actually legal. This is just a thing in cities. Convenience stores sell bongs and stuff because they're also where people go to buy snacks and soda and junk food and shit. There is a natural demographic overlap between the people looking to buy Takis at 3 a.m. and people who want a fancy bong, Tyler. I actually don't think that's the result of drug decriminalization, because I can walk into most convenience stores in Toronto and find the same stuff, Tyler. You fucking square. And just, what do you mean you caught him? This isn't some back alley deal. This is a big wall of bongs. You didn't catch anything. He's not doing anything illegal or secret. He's not even doing anything unusual. And goddamn, dude, it's a little rich for you, of all people, to claim someone else is capitalizing on the drug crisis. What the fuck are you doing right now with your little clickbait video?
Most of my videos on serious issues like these get completely demonetized and we lose money making them. If you want to help us keep making important documentaries like these and get extended uncensored cuts, go subscribe to my Patreon for as low as $5 a month.
I literally just noticed while editing this, of the videos he scrolls past, the only one to be completely demonetized, as he claims, is the one where he pretends that he's investigating whether or not Bush did 9/11, which I don't think qualifies as a serious issue.
So now it's time for some street interviews. He states that this guy initially supported harm reduction and decriminalization, phrasing which Tyler inserted into the conversation, not that man, which is something a journalist should not do. The man says it has not worked and has gone
This just
completely the
makes me
wrong
sad.
way, which is selectively cut to imply that decriminalization and harm reduction are themselves the wrong way. But in fact, the man goes on to say in a later clip that the problem is that they were not paired with support services like he thought they should have been, like he says has been shown to work in other places.
Proper harm reduction has been shown in European places, you know.
Actually,
Switzerland.
The whole argument is
Yeah.
that they have institutions to rehabilitate these users and not just facilitate the drug use, right?
Too. That's one thing we've told in this regard.
Given that context, it actually doesn't seem like he changed his mind about
No,
these
it
things when he saw the
doesn't.
results. He was saying he
Hi,
disagreed with the implementation of the program
Yeah.
because it didn't provide enough
Are you
care.
coming up, my love?
But Tyler selectively edits it to appear as though decriminalization has been such a disaster that even those who supported it now recognize the damage it's supposedly doing.
That's just
Or
not
take
the
this
case.
clip.
It's wildly successful.
Yeah.
It's not really that dangerous if you're a user.
You don't think decriminalization helps drug users overdose more
Not at
often
all.
or anything like that?
What kind of a fucking question is that, dog? Helps them overdose? And the man says no, by the way. He says that he doesn't think decriminalization would help drug users overdose.
You don't think decriminalization helps drug
Yeah.
users overdose more often or anything like that?
I wouldn't think so. No.
Seen people die out here?
I have, yes.
Yeah. Pretty common?
This is pretty common.
And it seems to me like this is a gotcha question. Oh, you say this won't help drug users overdose, and yet you
Careful,
yourself
baby.
routinely see people die out here. Putting aside the fact that people can die of many things other than drug overdose,
Somebody
what a
hit a skunk out
profoundly
there.
shitty way
Poor
to treat an
baby.
interview subject. To stick your nose so bluntly into
You
some
hear
of the
them
most
kind of
traumatic
barking out
experiences
at
of their
night out here.
lives, to, at best, gawk at them, and at worst, build a false narrative to contradict their lived experience because it conflicts with the picture you're trying to paint. Tyler then begins to talk about how Vancouver has also opened safe injection sites. He presents the arguments for them and then claims that Kevin snuck into one to see if they really lived up to what they were promising, or if they were all just a haven for drug crime.
Little did I know, Kevin snuck into one last night, and here's how it looked.
I'm gonna do a smoke show time, baby.
It didn't seem clean, safe, or supervised from the little that Kevin saw.
And that, admittedly, looks pretty bad. It's shocking. It does not look like a sterile medical environment.
bet
There
it's
don't
not.
appear to be medical professionals supervising. This is not how a safe injection site should look. And I've written here in my script, long pause for emphasis. Because as many Vancouver homeless and drug user advocates pointed out when this video was posted, this is not a safe injection site, it is a homeless shelter. You can see the fucking beds people are sleeping in. One thing you don't see is anywhere for people to inject drugs, safely or otherwise, which tends to happen a lot in safe injection sites. Here's what a safe injection site in Vancouver actually looks like, which I'm surprised you didn't know, Tyler, because you did use footage from this exact news report in this video to set up your false lying clip. So, one of two things is possible here. Either he willfully lied to his audience, or he was too lazy to double check the footage Kevin gave him, which, given the sloppiness of the work I've seen from Kevin in the past, you really ought to do. Quality journalism here, folks. Now it's time for some more street interviews and see if you can catch the extremely subtle way that Tyler leads this question.
We saw a line waiting to go to the bank. Are they waiting for social welfare checks to buy more drugs or what?
He saw a line to get into the bank,
a
which
low
he didn't
blow.
film, and from this concludes, apropos of nothing, that people are waiting to get their social welfare checks. It's starting to feel like he's very subtly trying to inject a political message here.
Right?
Here, like this security guy, would he do anything if you guys... No. Can they do anything? No. No?
That's not what security cards don't. That isn't what security cards do.
Then they talked to this guy who appeared to be a drug dealer guarding an alley.
And then I found this guy guarding an alley entrance who appeared to be a
Guarding.
drug dealer that agreed to an
Oh,
interview
wow,
if we
that's
blurred his
a lot of
face.
I don't feel like drug dealers typically like to be filmed. Even if you were to agree to blur their face, generally, drug dealers, as a category of person, tend to be pretty camera shy, actually, which might go some of the way towards explaining why he appeared to be a drug dealer, rather than just saying, you know, he was, because you can't prove that he was. because he probably wasn't. I pause now to ask, does it seem like Tyler is genuinely adhering to the principle of innocent until proven guilty? They go to a needle exchange to do some interviews, where they're told now is not a good time because they're dealing with an overdose. So instead of leaving, they hang around and film this man in crisis without his consent and talk about how wild it all is, how crazy it is.
Apparently, Ryan Montgomery did
real time
that
right now.
too.
Ambulance probably coming
Film
for
someone
him.
without their
You look at Dana
consent
doing his thing.
overdosing.
So,
This is complete chaos.
yeah, and this is an active overdose in real time right there.
We are completely surrounded by active users.
So firstly, yes, there tend to be a preponderance of drug users at needle exchanges. This is not unlike one might expect to be surrounded by hungry people at Olive Garden. I'm not sure if that represents a clear representative sample of the rest of the city. Secondly, no, you're clearly not surrounded by active users. You can see people walking by in the footage who do not appear to be on drugs, or indeed unusual in any way. You could just twirl the camera around, show us how surrounded you are. Is there a reason you don't want to do that? Is there a reason you're okay filming one guy having an overdose without doing anything to protect his privacy, but you're squeamish about showing us this dramatic image of how surrounded you are? Again, I must ask, do you simply not want your documentary to look exciting? Thirdly, and most importantly,
That's a really
fuck
good
you,
question.
because the man you're filming having an overdose, who,
Yeah.
by the way, is a volunteer worker at the Overdose Prevention Society, actually helping other drug users in his community to reduce overdoses, the man you didn't bother to blur the face of as he was in active crisis, waiting for an ambulance, did not give his consent to be filmed.
I was filmed without my consent, and it was posted online, used in a negative way, and it just feels horrible. They obviously caught me at my worst, and yeah, I wouldn't want that to happen to other people. There should be some type of, I know it's legal to film people out in public, but at the same time, there's got to be some ethical boundaries there.
The other guy that they spoke to who said it wasn't a good time to talk shared similar sentiments.
It was a smear piece. I was really disappointed, and I felt kind of used.
I'm sure Tyler might argue that you're under no legal obligation to protect the privacy of people you report in public. And I'm not a lawyer, but I don't know if that's true. Seems like the jury's out, actually.
That makes
But
me
there is
so
certainly an
fucking
ethical
sad.
obligation here. You didn't even hesitate for a fucking second before filming someone who did not only not consent to this, but also
sorry.
could not
Sorry.
consent to it, and used it to present them as a sign of how dangerous the city
Yeah,
had become.
that's-
They just gawk at him as he's going through this horrible
Yeah,
crisis.
I
and use it
agree.
to
You're
paint
completely
people like him
right.
as dangerous.
No, you're
So I
completely
ask
fucking
you,
right.
who do you think
You're
represents the bigger
completely right.
danger to this community?
That breaks
the
my
guy who
heart.
gives up his free time to specifically
Ugh.
volunteer at the Overdose Prevention Society? Or the rubbernecking...
But then, videos like, I don't know, Thought Slimes, for instance, get fucking demonetized and, taken away. But the algorithm loves these... Sorry. These disgusting myth and disinformation videos. Ugh. God, it's gross.
fake journalists spreading
God, it's
disinformation.
gross.
The individual who was filmed without his consent is a long-standing community member who has saved countless lives from overdoses,
goodness.
as well as teaching others how to spot overdoses and reverse overdoses with naloxone. The fact that he was filmed at his worst and most vulnerable and posted for millions to see is unfortunate.
We're halfway through the video, by the way.
It's just totally
And I just want to
unacceptable.
stop and ask, so far, would you characterize what you've seen as truthful and non-exploitative? So then, this scene plays out.
We walked off the block and into an alleyway. I noticed both ends were guarded by a drug dealer. You go through here
Oh,
or no?
fuck off, bro. I'm sorry. It pisses me off. I'm
Yeah?
sorry.
Yeah, they should worry about me now. Anything though?
We're good. To my surprise, we had just been offered drugs on camera.
He just assumes this random guy on a scooter is a drug dealer, based on nothing. Whatever happened to innocent until proven guilty?
Yeah,
he claims that this
exactly.
man is standing guard at an alleyway, which he clearly isn't, because, for one, he just lets them through when they ask, and also, this is not an alleyway, it's a bit of sidewalk that is covered because of construction. But I guess alleyways sound scarier than sidewalks, so they call it an alleyway. When they ask him if they can cross, he looks really confused, like, what? Why are you
They're like-
asking me that?
yeah, he's like,
when
what the-
Tyler speculates they might be heading into danger, you can hear Kevin saying,
Yeah, they should worry about me now. Anything though?
hey man, what does that mean? What do you mean by that? Are you gonna hurt people? Then Scooter Man says, you need anything, bro? Which they present as though this man has attempted to sell them drugs. And
think he
sure,
was just being
maybe he
nice.
could be doing that. That's possible. But also, equally possible, is he could be just like a confused and friendly
Right,
person
right.
asking if they needed something.
That's
In fact,
what I'd be
I'm
like, hey,
inclined
what
to
do you need,
believe
bud?
that is the case.
You're standing
because
there filming me. Hey,
you
what's
had a
going
camera
on,
and
man?
microphone pointed directly at him, so
Right.
it kind of strains credulity that he would be
Yeah.
offering you, a complete stranger who might be a cop, drugs in that circumstance. Whatever
Yeah.
happened to innocent until proven guilty? He claims he walked past some active drug deals.
To my surprise, we had just been offered drugs on camera.
Okay, we definitely just walked through some active drug deals.
I guess my main question about that is, what the fuck are you talking about? Because no, you didn't. You imagined some guy you saw was a drug dealer and freaked yourself out. If those two guys you walked past were engaged in some sort of drug deal, you didn't specify that or show any evidence of it.
As we walked away, we started
Exactly.
getting dirty looks from those two dealers, but it was clear
Oh
we
my
could buy drugs
God.
on any corner of any block out here in East Hastings.
That's
Is
nuts.
that clear? That didn't seem clear to me
That's
from the
not right,
footage you
dude.
showed. Where are you drawing that conclusion from? Because one guy who you assumed was a drug dealer based on nothing says, "You need anything, bro?" That is your basis for the claim that it is clear that one can buy drugs on any corner of any street in the area. Do I have that right? Some real investigating going on there. We've now reached the part of the video that I like to call the Tim Pool zone, where Tyler pretends that his
Oh, no, not
investigation
the
is
Tim
getting
Pool
too much
zone.
attention, and now the criminal element is out to destroy
normalized
him.
URL?
Oh
I
no,
don't know
Tyler
where
and
it
Kevin are being followed.
Yeah, we're definitely being followed right now.
They don't show you, but you know, just take their word for it. Why would they lie?
Did you use fentanyl?
And the more we talked to people out here, the dirtier the looks we got. Something felt off.
They're getting dirty looks. People off camera are pointing at them.
There's 3 men to your left pointing at us and talking to them, and they're slowly walking over, so just be aware of that. Something's up.
All right, let's go.
And they're not going to show you, but just trust them on that. Why would they lie? They're gonna die right now. They're in a dangerous situation here in the middle of a busy Canadian street in the middle of the day.
He's got no back look.
Sounds
I'm
good.
trying to walk down.
Yeah, everyone is eyeballing us.
We're gonna get mugged out here.
Yeah, they're looking at us right now.
That's just,
Maybe
I'm
the
sorry,
reason
this
people
just
are
makes
looking
me
at
sad.
you is because you're filming them.
Yeah,
They're
no
probably
kidding, man.
wondering what you're filming.
Yeah,
They walk past someone who
for
mumbles
sure.
something, and it kind of sounds to them like, "I'll fucking kill you," and they assume he
I
was talking
think he
about
said
them
something
and trying to
about
steal their
filming,
camera
didn't he?
for some reason.
That's what it sounds like.
I legitimately think they tried to take his camera.
Oh, you almost got
Because
mugged?
It sounds more to me like he's saying "fucking video."
Yes. What
The
did he
audio
just
is
say?
very
Yes.
difficult to make out, but even if he is saying "I'll fucking kill you," I don't know if
Try
it's
and
clear
keep me
from the
company for
footage
the
that he was
tornado that
speaking
might
to
be
anyone
incoming.
involved. It seems
Please.
like a guy mumbling to himself, and
Anyway.
it seems to me like what he mumbled was
Chicago's
"fucking
gonna
video"
see some
because you're a
tornadoes
bunch of
tonight, I
poverty
guess.
tourists filming a video. I could be wrong, but pointedly, the man did not try to kill you. So that seems to suggest he isn't the threat you're making him out to be. And you don't seem all that shaken up about it
No,
either.
it
Because just look at the delight on his face when he hears they have someone supposedly threatening them on video.
When we walked by him, he said, "I'll kill you."
What?
Not really the reaction one
funny.
might expect from someone who's just been threatened. But of course, the army of scooter-riding drug dealers wearing black masks are out to get them.
What I've noticed is the drug dealers use scooters to get around here.
I noticed that they
So-
always use scooters and they always have a mask on it, usually a black mask.
What the fuck are you talking about? Lots of people ride those fucking scooters. They're everywhere. How do you know those people are drug dealers? What are you basing that on? Whatever happened to innocent until proven guilty? I wonder if there's another reason someone might wear a mask.
I really
wonder
like
if there's a
that
different
sign.
explanation
so
there.
lovely.
Gee whiz, I wonder. Maybe
whiz, I
because of the fucking plague we're in the middle of. Maybe because it's fucking
Yeah,
cold,
this
actually.
was filmed
Based on
during
when
the
sundown
pandemic.
happens in this video.
Yeah.
It seems like it was filmed around late September when it can get as low as 8 degrees Celsius or 46 degrees in loser points. So maybe it's cold, which is why everyone is wearing a jacket, including you yourself.
Probably like that right
What the
here.
heck, Anna?
Because they
You
always
okay?
have the black
You're kind of
masks on.
standing right on my arm here. You alright?
You said that shit. Well, I'm convinced. You pointed at a guy and called him a drug dealer to his face, innocent until proven guilty, by the way, and he turned around? That's drug dealer
My
behavior.
God.
There's no other
Drug
reason
dealer.
to look at someone. When they point at you and speculate that you're a drug dealer for no reason, he was probably at that moment summoning some scooter men to assassinate you.
Right,
I cannot
exactly.
stress enough how much of this video is just these two guys walking around pointing at things and pretending something sinister is happening. Walking up to people who are sleeping and bothering them and pretending like they're just concerned, but of
Yeah,
course
that's
felt
really
the need
not
to film
right.
it without their knowledge or consent, of course.
Guy's wrapped in a trash can right here. I mean, this scene is.
I mean, you can't, how do you breathe? We even know he's alive.
Greg?
Yeah, do you want to check in on him?
Uh-uh.
Narcan or something, I mean.
I was worried about you. You're in a trash bag.
No shit. You don't say.
Okay, just checking on your brother.
Am I?
You doing okay? All
Sorry.
right, take care, brother.
That
Are you
that
okay?
just pisses me off.
Just want to check on you. You okay, brother?
okay,
Kevin's
baby?
gonna make sure they are alive.
Are you okay, brother?
Baby.
Okay. You said yes.
Kitten.
Walking by a lineup and assuming out of nowhere
baby
they're
love?
once again
My
looking to pick
darling.
up welfare checks.
Seemingly endless line of drug addicts still waiting to get government money from the bank to go buy drugs with.
Walking by
sorry,
someone
guys.
sleeping and assuming for no reason that they're dead.
Trying to
People
do
appeared
coding while the
lifeless
cat
on the
is
corner of
laying
every
on me.
street, and it was impossible to tell if they were just high or dead.
Kind of seems like you have a lot of problems with that distinction in general.
They see another woman ODing, and of course, film that too. And then there are people there helping her, and Kevin just claims that they're robbing her.
Well, it looks like she was overdosing, and as she was overdosing, they're robbing her.
They're robbing her?
Yes. Yeah, they're picking her pockets. That's crazy.
Which does not seem true. But if it were, why didn't you do something to help? Kevin, I thought they had to be afraid of you, tough guy. Whatever happened to that? Then they filmed this guy take something out of someone's bag and throwing it away angrily.
People were literally robbing each other in broad daylight out here.
And then that person yells,
Idiot. I want to give it free.
which to me suggests that they know one another and it wasn't so much a random robbery as they frame it here, but like two people in conflict, innocent until proven guilty. Anyway, they get into a Zoom call with a member of the Legislative Assembly, which you can think of as vaguely analogous to a Canadian state senator, Eleanor Sturco from the BC United Party, a center-right conservative party which, perhaps confusingly, was formerly known as the BC Liberals, but they meant it in
Interesting.
the European economically liberal way, not in the Liberal Party way. She wants to
Def
undo
summarize.
decriminalization,
Yes.
which she claims failed because the city, once again, has not paired it with sufficient support services.
What was the objective in decriminalizing those drugs?
That their idea was that this would reduce stigma. They cite other countries in the world that have had some success with decriminalization.
No,
They talk
they've
about
had immense
Portugal,
success.
Uruguay, Germany.
Like I
But
said.
there's a huge difference between what they're doing and what's being done here. Fortunately, the government is only telling half the story and they've only put half the work in. Because those other jurisdictions actually have involuntary care. Where the hell are they moving these people on to? It's just not fair for the public and it's not fair for people that have addictions. We need to provide them the services they need and make sure that they get the support they can to get well.
What's the solution for all this?
To make sure that actually police, for example, were given back their full discretion, we would
Sure.
decriminalization. It's like trying to same pie as somebody else, but you don't use the same ingredients. It's not going to turn out the same.
That's okay. So decriminalization is providing those services. And I guess why? Like, if by your own admission decriminalization and more support services work, why not do that then?
Okay,
Why don't you do the thing you think works instead of
I wanna
going
make
back
sure
to
I'm
a
in the
plan
right
we know
place.
demonstrably does not? Regardless
this
of
monstrous
how
web app file.
utterly inane her talking points are, this interview looks pretty bad for Sturco. Given all of the controversies I've brought up, you'd think no politician would want to be seen working with this dickhole. And indeed, Sturco
Sorry.
did not want to be seen working with this dickhole. She went on to claim that she didn't realize she was being recorded and did not give Oliveira permission to use her interview footage.
Oh.
And I gotta take Tyler's side on this one, because I find that a little hard to believe. You're clearly on a
On
Zoom call.
Zoom?
And call,
You
a
get
big
notified.
notification comes up and tells you. So, like, seems pretty unlikely you'd miss that. Seems pretty unlikely that you'd agree to talk to a YouTuber without, asking, hey, are you going to put this in your
right,
video?
Papa?
Tyler responded, calling her a spineless politician rather than defending himself, which, seems to imply that at the very least, he can't prove he did tell her that she'd be recorded. And here's a thought, my guy. If you're an investigative journalist, maybe have people sign some fucking release forms. Unless,
Right.
for some reason, you feel that would compromise your production methods. The video ends with a plug for Kevin's YouTube
That'd be
channel and his
kind to do
website,
for
where he solicits
unhoused
donations,
people that he's
and then instructions
interviewing on the
for a
street
$500 giveaway if you post a
as
clip
well.
from this video and tag him in it.
Also, whoever has the
Oh my
most viewed
goodness.
TikTok or YouTube short using a clip from this video, I'll send you $500. Post however many times you want, but you must tag my TikTok/YouTube @ and put YouTube Tyler Oliveira in the title/description. Last week's winner was this guy. Go
Pardon
study
me.
him. Good luck, guys.
A lot of the winners seem to be bot accounts who exclusively post clips of Tyler's videos, which you really should not incentivize. Like, that's absolute scumbag shit. Like, it's not illegal. Not against any policies,
okay?
just, dog shit. Awful way to promote yourself. Oh my God. Before I got to this part of the video, I saw in Tyler's
whoops.
description a
Good
link
idea.
to a Google Drive that he called the unedited footage. And I thought, oh great, I can look over the raw footage and see what he left out. Check his work. What a surprisingly transparent gesture. What a surprising show of integrity, I
Patreon.
thought to
I bet.
myself out loud. And turns out,
Or
what he meant by
YouTube
the
membership
unedited
or
footage
something.
was the edited footage, the exact video he had
Oh.
uploaded.
just without music. Full disclosure, I suppose I could have gotten access to a longer version of this video that perhaps contained some exculpatory evidence for some of the criticisms I've made here. But in order to do that, I'd need to pay him $5 on Patreon, and I would rather peel off my own skin than do that. Because I've written 24 pages about how manipulative, shady, and outright full of shit this one 14-minute video is. That's just cataloging all of the shitty practices, scandals, misrepresentations, and lies in one video. While writing this, I got a YouTube short served to me that contained this line. The biggest problem out
You're okay, Toby. I love you, buddy.
This is New Orleans. I don't give a fuck. They want everything for free because their great-great-grandfather was a slave.
Oh! Okay, ouch on that one.
I'm terrified to look at that video because I
Good
don't know how much
grief.
time I'm going to lose. He makes these once a week. Every single
okay,
week.
Bubba?
He has 5
What's
million
wrong,
subscribers,
huh?
and his videos get millions of views. And that's
He's
before
stinky
the
because
legions of spam bots parroting his misinformation that
he hasn't gotten to do everything he wanted
factored
today.
into the equation. God only knows how many impressionable people have watched his bullshit and bought it wholesale.
Bubba,
the comments
what
are
you
full to the
need?
brim of people who have
What need?
people who praise him for his journalistic integrity, his bravery for walking around on a sunny afternoon. A lot of these people express some pretty troubling views about homeless people and drug users. Views that Tyler directly enforces and enables. Also, here's a huge bummer. There's a legitimate story here that with just the most bare bones effort
I
he
think
could have
that's
covered.
the command. Let me check.
There is a drug crisis in
Oh my God! Do you hear him groaning? Bye. Good night. I'm sorry I missed you. Saying good night. Good night. Good night. Good night. Good night.
The stakes, which are measured in human
Get some
lives,
sleep.
are too high to be this cavalier about the truth. But he can't be bothered to check basic facts.
Buddy,
He can't be
what
bothered
are you
to title
crying
his video
about?
properly. And he feels entitled to not only
Why
stick his
cry?
nose into a problem he hasn't done the slightest bit of due diligence to understand, but also to
Toby?
profit off of doing so.
Why
and
cry?
that's clearly where his motivation is. That's
Why
clearly
you
why he
cry?
made all of the choices he made. The more sensationalized the story, the more outrageous the title, the more wild and crazy you can pretend the situation is, the more clicks he's going to get. The more attention he's going to get,
Goodness
the more the money
gracious,
rolls
what the
in.
fuck?
He'll claim that he's showing
Toby,
people the
you're
realities
okay,
of drug use, but, you know, if he's intending to show people reality, why did he lie so many times in the video? And if he's intentionally sensationalizing them because he thinks that the ends justify the means, one of the worst examples of public health communication in history was people trying this exact strategy and failing miserably. Sometimes he'll pay people he's talking to some pittance, like $5 or something, to be interviewed. And how many of them, do you think, have any idea that they're about to be seen by millions of people? How many do you think he followed up with to ask how they felt about the way he edited and presented their statements? And how many of them, do you think, even know they're being filmed for a YouTube video in the first place? I don't have a problem with people making videos about these subjects. I don't have a problem with people making money from videos about these subjects, but the way Tyler does so is deeply, fundamentally irresponsible. He calls himself an investigative journalist, but he's nothing of the sort. He's a profiteer of human misery, a poverty tourist, a parasite, who feeds off the attention he can wring out of people while they're in the throes of the worst moments of their lives. He is directly, measurably, making the world a worse place, a more ignorant place, a more cruel place. And I don't know what to do about it. Because he's not alone. You can find dozens of videos of people making this kind of hateful content. It's easy as long as you're willing to lie. It's profitable. And the people being hurt have no resources to fight back if you misrepresent them. There's a growing cottage industry of frauds and hacks cobbling together dishonest videos to demonize the most vulnerable people in our communities. Truth be told, I took a deep dive on this video because I thought the title was funny. I didn't expect to find as much as I did, but I could have done the same for hundreds of others. Even the way he is shitty is thoroughly unremarkable. If you made it all the way to the end of this video, thank you for watching.
So sad.
I know that this one was a lot longer than you might be accustomed to from me, and definitely a lot more serious, but you know, given the subject matter, it felt like I had to
Toby,
put in some extra
You're a good
elbow
boy.
grease on this one. I felt like I owed it to the people that he was misrepresenting.
Please stop.
In any case, thank you so much for your continued
Good
support
grief.
throughout 2023.
Toby,
It has been
please stop.
a year.
Sorry.
It's definitely been one of the years.
I'll get you shortly
And
again.
hope
I
that
don't know why
everyone
you feel you
watching
need to
this
go out again, but we'll
has
go out
a
shortly.
safe and happy New Year, unless Tyler Oliveira is watching, in which case I hope everyone but one person who is watching this
Oh my
has a safe and
God.
happy New Year.
Oh god. One sec here. I'm just going to do a thing. I always forget the compile command. Yeah. Ow, dang it. Dang it. For like a whole file. Like, god damn it. Is it Python M compile? I don't know. PyCompile? Fuck. Yeah, it's PyCompile, isn't it? For entire file on Linux. I always fucking forget. Yeah, it is M compile. Oops. God damn it, you dumb fucker. I swear to God, I forget this every time. It's so annoying. Fuck. Anyway. We'll see. Otherwise, I'll just ask my AI. God, my brain just goes sometimes. Okay, Christ. That is loud. That's definitely loud. That is definitely loud. Okay. Oh, God. Is it underscore? Let me try. PyCompile, I think. I said compile. Oh my god, I'm so blind. Let's try this. What? Oh, I know what I did. Wait, what line was that? 1031? Maybe? I think it was 1031. I should just open it up on that line, or 1341, sorry. I don't know why this is running so slow today. Oh, wait, okay. No. What? What? Hold on, I gotta run this through my... Please! Okay? God damn it. Ugh. Oh my goodness. Hold on, I gotta run this through my notebook. Real quick. Good God, I hate kids sometimes. I'm sure your kids are great, just I used to teach. Okay, can we leave it at that? We have a reason. It's a good one. Let's leave it at that. Anyway, let me go ahead really quick and just see what else we've got out here. Okay.
So Tyler Oliveira actually responded to a video someone made about him, and he only responded because this person went viral on Twitter doing so. Trust me, had that not happened, he would have just kept uploading videos like he normally does, because he's acting like this is the first time someone put out an extended video on him calling him out. But in this video, he responds to Vince's video, and in good old Tyler fashion, he proceeds to try and explain how he did nothing wrong. He first talks about how he isn't racist for shopping at a Civil War surplus store, and that's true, you're not racist for wanting to buy some memorabilia. I mean, I took these zombies from a literal board game. That doesn't make me a Nazi. But deliberately going out of your way to give the quote-unquote most racist man in America a gift as reference to another video you had nothing to do with just to try and make the most racist man in America's day is the dumbest shit I've ever heard. Tyler said he doesn't even have a phone, so he literally went out of his way to find him. Not only that, but if you have to go into detail into why you gave the most racist man in America a gift, then your joke was a fucking failure. It doesn't make you racist, but that's like me going to a murderer with a gun and being like, you remember from the video clip where you executed your family? Remember that?
Yeah, that's not great.
Hopefully nobody thinks this is weird. Let's get a picture together. Can we help? Now, you know what? You hold the gun to my head. We'll like...
Why did he hide the fact that he gave the most racist man in America a welcome gift he bought from the KKK memorabilia store that sells said...
Why do you think it's funny, Tyler? Why are you
First
laughing?
of all, I didn't hide anything. I even posted a photo
Oh,
of
in
him
that
and I
case, it's
on
fine. I'm
Instagram
kidding.
with
It's
a
not.
caption titled, I gifted him automatic assault rocks from Kennesaw. For context,
Okay, so I think
saw
it is
the
just that I
original
put
video
a
where
leading-
the most
got
racist
rid of
man in a
leading
video
space. I
meets
can't
another
see that well,
YouTuber,
so-
Pootie, and Pootie asks him this.
Me? Or this white
No.
rock right here?
The rock. It serves a purpose. The guy doesn't even have a phone. You can't set meetings with this guy. He was out there. I knew I still had the rocks in the car. I knew about the Pootie bit with the rocks. I knew I could make him laugh if I gave him the rocks. I did. Boom! We have a video. Blow your mind. You ready for this? Okay, so I know you like the rock more than Pootie.
Actually, no. I'm just going to cut it and put it all into my...
That's kind of funny, right?
That's kind of funny, right? Your
No,
genuine
it's-
hatred towards
it's
black
not.
people? That's kind of hilarious if you think about it.
as a
Even
next
says,
person,
so I know you
I
don't
know
like
it
that
isn't.
black guy, so
I gotta
here's
throw
some
this whole
rocks to
file back
remind you
into
how
my
much you
fucking
don't like that black guy. But then he starts
thingy.
going down the list of things Vince
my
called him out
notebook.
for on Twitter. One of them being him putting a PS5 in the back of his car, wanting someone to break into it for his video showing how dangerous Oakland is. And as someone who has lived in Oakland for 10 years, you are an idiot for trying this.
Why did Tyler use a PS5 as bait to get someone to break into his car? 1, that's a TV, not a PS5.
Not the point at all, but strong start.
2, to see if someone would break in and take it. We ran a little Mark Rober-esque sting operation with the TV and controller in the car.
Rober?
But to be fair to
Ooh.
Vince, his real point
Mark
is that
Rober's
car
a
break-ins
dick.
and auto theft is so rare in the city
If
of
it's the
Oakland that
same
we had to
landlord
perform a
Mark
little
Rober
sting
I'm thinking
operation
of.
to
I'm not
show
sure
that
who
cars
that
do
is.
get broken into. And what's even funnier is that the crime statistics state that in 2023, Oakland reached the highest
shit.
number of car thefts in more than a decade with a 44% increase since 2022.
Yikes.
But this is part of Vince's argument
And
that
you
he
thought
begins
it would
to
be
construct
cute to
that we need to create evidence or
do
falsified
this?
B-roll
Really?
to legitimize the crime that doesn't exist in these cities, according to him.
You do need to create evidence. as
That's a
proven by you
lot. That was a
explaining how you
big,
put a
uh,
TV in
accusation
the
there,
back of
Tyler.
your
What
car
the
wanting someone to break into it. And just because you asked 2 people about their car being broke into, one of them not even being a victim, doesn't mean your video is any more valid. If it's so normal, then why
not
didn't
trying
you
to hear
find
it, buddy.
someone doing it in real time? You had to literally set up a
Being a
fake
ding-dong.
scenario to try and get footage to make Oakland
Toby,
look
I really
worse
don't
than
know
it
what you
already
need right now,
is.
but you're
How do you not
trying a lot
understand that? He even talks about the
to go
car
out and
theft
get
rate. And it's like,
attention.
what does that
Hush.
have to do with you wanting someone to commit a crime for your video? Like, he compares what he did to a Mark Rober video, the guy who makes those glitter bomb packages. And it's like, just because you put a box full of towels in your car doesn't make you Mark Rober, alright? One
Oh,
guy makes
Robber,
glitter
not
bombs. The
Rober.
other guy is trying to make
Got
something
it.
happen for his video to try and make himself seem more credible. Like, what he's essentially saying is that because statistics show that a certain area is prone to crime, you can lie about said crime so long as you give at least one example of it happening in person. Unfortunately for Tyler, a TV in the back of a car was a little too obvious, don't you think? Bro saw one news clip of that happening during the day and he's like, this... I got the perfect idea for a video, guys.
Right.
But now he talks about the misplaced B-roll footage and how some of the clips that were in certain videos weren't even from the city he was in. So what does he do? Blames his editor for putting in the wrong clips and then tries to brush it off like, well, if we just took out these clips and then added these ones in instead, my point would stay the same.
Next, misplaced B-roll and B-roll mistakes. In my videos, when we're talking about, let's say, crime, we may show an example of this crime happening in the given city. For example, here's this shot in our Oakland video about a machine gun manhunt that turned out to be from West Oakland, Pittsburgh.
no idea.
Now, Vince is right. This is a mistake and we messed up. But here's the problem. I don't place the B-roll for my videos. I have 2 editors for my main channel, and one editor's job is dedicated to finding B-roll for the videos. I agree with Vince. The final cut. But the problem is, if you take out the few incorrect shots we placed in some of these videos, for instance, let's take Oakland and replace it with this machine guns, or this shot, or this shot, or this shot, the same purpose is achieved at visualizing the gun crime.
that fucking stupid or what? If it was that easy for you to find videos to use, then the idiot you're paying to edit your video should have also been able to do the same thing. He's wrong, but then be like, actually.
But actually, yeah, it's like, whoa.
If you think about it. Don't think about it too much. But he does that. He will always try and find some his mistake. Obviously, crime doesn't go away if you have the right clip, but don't try and make it seem like it's okay for you to use the wrong news clips because there are correct ones out there. Now he's gonna call me out when he's lying about his videos too, and then shows a clip where Vince said this clip that Tyler used isn't from Houston, it's actually that clip was from Dallas, not Houston.
And just to show how easy it is to make a mistake, Vince himself improperly cites
Chicago. It's from Houston, Texas, 4 years ago. Tyler makes up shit to fit his narrative.
Parts the comment where his viewer points his mistake out, and at the end of the comment, it still reads, so Tyler still lied about it.
Now, I don't know if Tyler knows about his states and cities and whatnot. To confuse Dallas, Texas with Houston, Texas than it is any city in Texas with somewhere in Chicago. Obviously, his editor is the one exactly Tyler's fault, but it's coming from his channel, and now that someone is like, hey, you can't do that, he's like, well, then just play this video when the B-roll footage shows up. You know what I mean? We're gonna be up.
Why did he pretend to be asylum seeker to get processed by Border Patrol? To see where we would end up, the behind-the-scenes logistics of how the government would process someone claiming asylum, and what that process looked like. Seems kind of interesting as an American tax-paying citizen. Someone's spot to enter America when, once again, I'm literally in the car for 20 seconds. The Border Patrol guys laugh it off. No harm, no foul. It's not like I pushed some pregnant woman out of the way to take the last spot in the van. There was no one else left waiting to get in the van. Even if I did take a seat, I wouldn't.
If you take a seat meant for someone else, that person it's meant for doesn't get to go on that seat. That's common sense. That's like first grade stuff, you know what I mean? That's like musical chairs, kindergarten type things you should know about. But notice how he said that he didn't push a pregnant woman out of the way to downplay what he actually did? Tyler, what the fuck are you talking about? No, shut up! Vitaly did the same exact thing and tried to get on one of these vans for a stream and was told to get out also. And guess what? He's just as stupid as you for thinking that he was not only going to be able to get on here, but go through the process an immigrant does. I've not seen how you look. I don't know if you're Jewish or Mexican, a deadly mixture of both. But even a blind man would have told you to get out of that van, dog. He now brings up his Jamaica video and tries to prove that his guide wasn't actually with him, when in reality he was just an earshot away getting some food while Tyler gets some of that good Jamaican juice, baby. He obviously downplays himself, saying that he thought he was going to get robbed in Jamaica's most dangerous city, but like, Tyler knows what he's doing in his videos.
For context, he's referring to when I'm in Georgetown, one of Jamaica's most dangerous neighborhoods. At a certain point, my guide and I are separated, and this random dude tells me to come to the farm. The farm? The farm, that is our farm. Right over there. Yeah, we can go over there, come. To which my cameraman, myself, and this guy go to the farm. It all ends well. We had a great time.
While my guide was nowhere in sight, I first thought I was setting myself up to get robbed.
Vince zooms in on this voiceover, trying to paint this moment as if I was lying and that my guide was with me the entire time. But in reality, my guide was not there, and here's 28 minutes of behind-the-scenes footage that show him and I separated.
And then look at that. There's the exact moment from my guide's POV where we reconnected.
Yeah, dog, and where in any of that did you assume you were going to get robbed? This place looks like a tourist attraction that people don't go to because of the stigma you're adding to it. Like, this dude even got his tour guide to make these bullshit thumbnails, and it's like, dog, do not let Tyler influence your thumbnails. He even tries to say that he isn't making these places seem more dangerous than they are, when that is literally all he knows how to do in every video he has ever made.
His entire point is that I'm trying to paint this sense of danger that doesn't actually exist, which is funny because he conveniently cuts out and omits all of this testimony from people that live in the community.
He then shows people he interviewed, acting like he doesn't have clips interviewing people saying that their city is dangerous in every video. Who the fuck cares what they say? You are investigating the most dangerous city in Jamaica, and they're treating you like a guest at a fucking hotel. Not only that, but the video that your tour guide uploaded literally shows you having the best time of your life in the most dangerous city in Jamaica. But nah, you don't make things seem like they're not. Nah, you're a good guy. Like, other than the B-roll footage that you aren't even sure is from the right place, this dude went to Jamaica to make a video so he can fund his next bullshit idea. If you can't get some actual footage and show us how it's dangerous other than by posting year-old news clips and by talking to people who will tell you the most generic thing ever, then what are you doing?
Crime and violence, sometimes we just need that for stop. Just the crime and violence.
They'll shoot each other?
Yeah.
Oh, really? There's a lot of crime and violence in this city where you guys went to try and investigate crime and violence? It's like saying there's a lot of pizza and sauce in Italy. No shit there is, but if you're not going to show us a direct example, then don't make the video or at least exaggerate about it like Tyler's doing. Like in that Jamaica video, the only murderers this dude found were some fat guy with a kitchen knife and some other dude with a taser. The bad guys from Home Alone are more scary than that. For this next part, he actually brings up my video, but obviously didn't watch any of it because I'm not popular enough. But he got a screenshot of my comment where Vince replied to me, and he's mad that Vince wants his video to pop up when someone Googles Tyler's name, saying, why did he really make this video? Why did he make a video exposing me for all my dirty misdeeds? Why would he do that?
Vince also cuts out any of the good vibes or positive moments because his goal is that when I reach out to someone from a different city, they Google my name, find his video, and they find out I'm just some big bad liar trying to paint their community as negative. Look at this comment and tell me anything he's done thus far is in good faith.
Tyler is the last person to be talking about someone doing something in good faith. Was putting Bush next to Bin Laden done in good faith? Or what about even just using this thumbnail? Was this done in good faith? But it's just funny how Tyler is actively looking for people posting videos on him, but not just that, going through the comments to see if Vince said anything. You would think the video title and thumbnail would be more important, but like I said, I'm not big enough. Yet. But not only did he not watch my video, this effing idiot said that he is open to good faith criticism and wants people in the comments to let him know when he makes a mistake.
I've chosen to respond to this because I've witnessed in real time talking head streamers who take videos like Vince's, nod their head while they eat cereal, agree with everything, and move on to the next video. Listen, I want to welcome good faith criticism and for you guys to use the comment section to let me know when we do make mistakes.
He just wants the views.
I'm not trying to shy away from the fact that we have made mistakes and we will probably continue to make a few mistakes going forward.
Hear ya.
And it's unfortunate that Vince and other people like Vince waste their opportunity to give us actual constructive feedback and turn their personal frustration into a 50-minute hit piece designed to stop us from working with people in the future because they don't actually care about giving me constructive feedback.
Well then, Tyler, since you're now open to criticism all of a sudden, how come you went to my video, didn't watch it, got a screenshot of Vince's comment replying to mine, and then proceed to ask people to let you know what you did wrong in the comments?
Buddy.
I've been making videos on you for a year now, and not once have you responded to any of my criticism. And trust me, I called you out for all your BS you put in your videos way before any of these other people. You would also know that from just watching any one of the videos I made on you, that it's not just your content, but also your thumbnails, which you never address. I don't like your content, not because I don't like you, but because you lie and over-exaggerate every situation you're in. And when someone calls you out for it, you always have an excuse instead of just admitting you're wrong. And when you do admit you're wrong, you always try and justify it instead of just leaving it as you're wrong and you will do better next time. If you have to go to these lengths to try and prove you're just the guy spreading awareness, then you're obviously doing a horrible job. Not to mention, your ego is unbelievably huge. I'm not just saying that because you wanted to sue another YouTuber for using their content in your video. This video about Vince did nothing but convince your subscribers again that you did nothing wrong, which if you were to watch any of my videos criticizing you instead of just brushing them off as haters, you would see that. I would rather be a quote-unquote talking head YouTuber than put out the kind of disingenuous content you do and pretend like I'm doing a good job.
Please,
Toby, I look forward to your next video where you investigate Luigi Mangione and all you do is go around New York and talk to people who have never even been in the same vicinity as Luigi. With love, Sebastian, aka Seabass. But yeah, guys, I hate Tyler. Like, maybe he did watch my video, but I find it hilarious that the screenshot he had, the video was paused at 2 seconds, meaning that he clicked on it, heard this. So I'm tired, guys. It's been over a year. Put that shit on pause and said, that'll do. I don't like these talking head YouTubers. My bad, Tyler. Next time I'll criticize you in front of a homeless shelter. I don't know what the fuck you want us to do. What? Like, did you want me to pull an Ace Ventura and talk through my butt? Because I'll do that if that's what it takes for you to watch this. But if for some reason Satan answers his phone call and Tyler watches this video, can you please address your god-awful thumbnails? Like, what the F word is this, and this, and this, and this, and this, and this, and
we don't
this,
appreciate
and
it.
this?
Indian people,
like, dog,
we don't
this is a
appreciate it.
video about cancer,
We
and you're
don't.
gonna tell me nothing is wrong with your videos? I got you, Tyler. My bad. See you guys tomorrow. Peace.
No, literally.
Please,
So if
Toby.
you've been subscribed to this channel long enough, then you would know how I feel about the
I hear you,
Tyler
and I
Oliver.
would like to
I've
not
seen
hear you
videos on him
at this
showing how
point.
disingenuous and clickbaity his videos actually are. The videos
They're
he makes
really
are for the kind of people who never leave their house. The people who cross the street when they see a black person walking towards them. The people who still think the
Toby,
crack
do you gotta
epidemic of
poo-poo or
the
something?
80s is still going on.
You were just
and they
out.
will
Why didn't
literally
you
be
poo-poo when
offered
you were
crack
out?
in any low-income neighborhood that they will never visit. And it all started
Why did that
when he made a
never know?
video
Why you
about
didn't do
Skid
that?
Row, trying to make it look
Why
worse
don't
than it
poof?
already is. Like, he literally goes up to a person
He's, like,
smoking
really
meth
thinking
and
about it.
is
He's like, oh, shit, I don't know.
yeah, we
What
gotta
can I
go.
say?
We just saw someone hanging out the window with
Okay.
AR-15s.
Toby, enough's enough, please.
Saw some guns.
Oh, no.
ARs in the back of the car. We saw AR-15s.
And it's like, as someone who has lived in LA for my entire
better-
life, and have even worked
you may
near
wait,
there,
okay?
and have even made a video
getting to
in
be
the
a stinker.
exact place he was, I can tell you that unless they were going to commit a crime somewhere
Buddy.
in the area, which didn't come up in his video, then he literally just saw some black people in a car and decided
do
that
have
the
to
video
indent
needed
more,
a
I
little
think.
spice. Needed a
I
little
hear you.
black African spice to it. Some violence. Like, who the fuck does this guy think he is to where he needs to be scared of people driving by? You're talking to a fucking crackhead, dog. They probably thought you were
yeah, I
trying to
do.
buy some shit off them. Nobody was like, you know, it'd be really funny if we scare these white boys with our guns. No, they're probably the guys who sold those fucking fent addicts their heroin. Little PCP stick. And don't even get me started on his thumbnails. Again, just like his content,
They are
these
really ugly
thumbnails are
and
made for
bad.
people who have never experienced life outside their little bubble and think the worst about everyone. Like, YouTube was supposed to
That's
start
right.
cracking down on bullshit like
They
this
don't.
to make sure it stops happening. Like, look at this. Fentanyl store? Dude got the fent store in the fucking thumbnail with a line of people doing the fentanyl. And not once does he go to a pharmacy that's illegally
I will get you shortly,
selling
Bubba. You
drugs.
good boy.
He just does what his useless reporter skills allow him to do. And that is just...
Yeah,
and
it's
that
really
is asking
sad.
those
It
generic
makes me
questions
very, very
anyone
sad
would
and
think.
tired.
We're being a little silly right now, but is
As
the
a
field of work
mixed
you're
race
in dangerous?
person, it really makes me very
yes,
sad
of course,
and tired.
especially during the nighttime, I guess.
Yeah, we were just being a little silly. This is a little joke for the viewers, but do you ever feel like you're gonna be murdered for what you do? As a joke, by the way. A little goof, a little gaff. For the viewers. Or like this one. Active war zone in Albuquerque, New Mexico? And I like how the word drugs is spray painted on the wall because this is an active war zone, guys. With someone in the fentanyl. This is probably his favorite post to use when making a video about someone doing drugs. Or like sometimes he's just blatantly racist, which he's been called out for, but then denies it. Like he has this video called I Deported Illegal Immigrants with ICE, where he has
Yeah,
this
I saw
guy
that
wearing a
one. It was
Viva
really
Mexico shirt.
ugly.
However, you know when you hover your cursor over a video and it shows you half-second clips of what the video's about? Well, the first image that pops up for this video is the guy in the thumbnail, and you can clearly see he's not wearing a shirt that says Viva Mexico. Like I said, this is for the people who think every Mexican getting deported is dressed in a serape and sombrero like every Mexican dresses like a fucking stereotypical version of themselves while trying not to get the attention of ICE. Makes sense, Tyler. You're a real news reporter. We're a real news reporter. And when I tell you something can be said about every one of his thumbnails, I implore you to go to his channel and see them for yourself, and then see that the video doesn't relate to at all what the thumbnail shows. Which are all AI, by the way, if that wasn't obvious. One of my favorite ones.
I swear to fuck, I don't want to hear it no more. You're driving me nuts. You were just out.
But then AI generates all these cops on their knees praying to this mural? And it's like, what the hell is this supposed to symbolize? The cops are the ones who killed them. Like, this one actually might be my favorite. This was about a city that lives down the end of a factory, and the fumes from that factory supposedly were turning
hear
people
ya.
into this. But other than his thumbnails, he's just a piece of shit human being who thinks he can do whatever he wants under the excuse that he's reporting the news. Like in a now deleted video, he was literally going to sue someone because they copyright claimed his video for using their content. Yeah, he used part of someone else's video in his own,
Oh my
to which the
God.
content creator did not approve, so he claimed the video. Tyler then got a strike and then went full-on news anchor madness. Like, this isn't something that's been happening on YouTube since that feature became available. But do you think Tyler cared? Nope, he just wanted to make sure that everyone knew that the guy who took down his video was a big meanie.
Alright, I am suing another YouTuber. This morning I woke up to a
Sure, bud.
copyright claim a
That'd be
complete video
stupid.
takedown, and a strike on my channel.
I wouldn't be
for a
surprised if you did. Toby,
4-second
enough,
clip.
please.
It's hilarious because the guy actually made a response and was like, well, yeah, you used my content in your video and I didn't want you to, but since you're being a big vagina about it, I guess I'll take down the strike.
Hello there, this is Tyler Oliveira. I woke up this morning to a strike on my channel and a complete takedown of our Hawaii documentary due to a 4-second shot of a homeless camp on the beach we used from your video. Problem is, I was on an airplane in Alaska out getting my actual own footage and I didn't see his email. And so Tyler got frustrated, I guess, and couldn't wait any longer. And after I didn't respond for 30 minutes,
That's the exact kind of
he
person you
fired
don't
off
want doing
this
on the
email.
streets
Actually,
journalism.
go fuck yourself. I'm taking your ass to court. So here's what I'm gonna do though. Because I'm a nice guy, I'm going to allow Tyler's video to go back up on YouTube. I'm gonna put it back up and let things go.
Like, this incident completely went over people's head when it literally showed how big of an ego this piece of shit actually
for
has.
sure.
He was going to sue another YouTuber for using their content
Yikes,
in
that is
his
really
video.
bad.
That alone should tell you everything you need to know about him. There was also this back and forth he had with the YouTuber Soft White Underbelly, which was just a whole bunch of nonsense like everything else he does. And every time I would make a video about him, I would be like, at some point, someone is going to call him out for making their city look worse than it actually is. Like, dog, we're already considered the ghetto. We don't need you talking to the local drug addicts about what life is like. That's like asking a tourist who's fresh off the plane what they think about the country they're visiting. Like, you know, there are people who aren't on drugs who can tell you about the people who are on drugs and about the city they're
Okay,
living
you guys,
without
sorry.
the over-exaggerated nonsense the people on drugs would tell you. Like, come on, Olive, you gotta be a little more discreet than that. But since my last video on Tyler, which I think was a video about me going over his response he made to another YouTuber calling him out, I think it's been almost a year since I made a video on him. But after I heard about this most recent news, I'm like that one guy from SpongeBob. Rebel those fryers, because I am sure hungry, and they don't throw me out. So recently, some of you guys might have seen that clip of Tyler
wait, did I have that down here
at the
already?
infamous Indian poop throwing festival they have somewhere in India. I'm sure you guys have seen all the memes,
Enough,
all the videos,
please.
and it's exactly
You're being
what
a
the name
butt.
entails. It's a poop throwing festival.
I can't get
Not
up right
making
now,
snow
or I'd
angels,
lock
they're
him out,
throwing
'cause
poop.
he's being
As
a
bad as
shit.
it is, I'm with you. Poop. Ew.
That's more than
There are some
enough.
things to keep in
Thank
mind.
you.
One, it's not human poop, it's cow poop. Still poop, I know, gross. But it's not like people are just and then throwing it like a snowball. And even if you're like, well, what if there's one person who does that? This is a tradition. So to do that would be like for someone to drink all the communion wine when it's their turn to drink. They're like, oh, my bad, you guys wanted a sip? My bad, I'm a raging alcoholic. Hey, top me off another song. Top me off with the blood of Christ there, Chief. Like, no, they know what kind of poop should be thrown. Gross, I know. We get it, gross. But two, like I said, this is a tradition that only takes place in one part of India. This isn't a countrywide thing that everyone takes place in. It is only celebrated in this one part of India to which the rest of India looks down upon. Like, you know how New York and only New York has the Macy Thanksgiving Day Parade? It's like that. But they throw poop. But regardless, Tyler went there and was apparently going to release one of his videos on the festival. And knowing Tyler, he would have made it seem like they were throwing poop at him at the airport in anticipation for this festival. Sorry. Like, the airplane had a strange smell, and I can only imagine what I was in for. But something Tyler forgot to take into account was how big
enough, please. You're making me nuts, Toby. I can't get up right now.
Y'all remember T-Series versus PewDiePie? Bitch, lasagna, bitch, lasagna. After Tyler was teasing the release of his poop throwing video, the people of India were like, oh, hell no! Like that old guy playing basketball. Hell no! Hell no! Hell no! Hell no! But apparently because he wanted to release he had been doxxed by thousands of Indians over the last 2 weeks, and he had asked all Indians to please leave my family alone. Thank you. Now, obviously, you should not.
I have nothing for you right now. I cannot even get up, please. Thank you.
By over-exaggerating.
He was fucking just outside. Like, I don't do right now.
Like he said,
if I could get up right now, I would, buddy, but I can't. I'm so
yeah, you
sorry.
say that now, but had your video come out, you would have made it seem like you could smell India from the plane ride over.
I don't know what to tell you, buddy.
Anyone, then why did you make it seem like you were going to die in the next 7 days if you didn't upload
Poor mommy and Anna.
Like he's
have to
baiting
sit here and hear
people
that.
watching his video to see what almost
Like
had this guy a week away from death. You know what you're doing, Tyler. Like anyone who doesn't live in that part of India and does something like this is obviously going to get tested. But they're not going to be like, if I don't upload a video in 1 week, I'm dead. The poop consumed me. Like if he was actually a week away
I'm
from
not
death,
laughing
he
at you.
wouldn't
You
even
can
have the
stop.
strength to lift
Thank
up
you.
that vial of blood, let alone be teasing a new video.
He gets mad when
He didn't
when
say
he's
if
in
you
a
don't
poopy
hear from
mood.
me in a
He gets
week,
mad
if
when
I
I
don't
laugh
post an
because he's
update,
worried
if you don't see
it
the
might be about
video he's
him.
been working on this whole
It's
time,
like the smart
he's
dog
dead,
problems, you
or
guys.
you're just building up
Seriously.
hype for this video, which I'm
No,
not leaving
smart
out as an
dog
option. Like I
problems.
said, knowing Tyler, this is all just to get people to be like, no way, he has to
No,
post
ma'am.
the video now just to mess with them, which I feel like is exactly that.
wrong
But he
one.
does have other tweets like, filming a poop throwing festival in India is not
I love you,
racist
buddy.
rhetoric. This Indian man claims I have no idea what I've gotten myself into and takes me a
Okay,
screenshot of
and
the
then we'll
median
do
household
error.
incomes in America. These are
We'll do
historic levels.
none,
Dog, that
comma,
poster
and then we'll
video
do
itself
status,
isn't
doc
racist
ID,
rhetoric, but you
accept,
saying that you're gonna die in a
basically.
week after attending the festival is whatever you were going to say about the festival is. It's
Probably
a festival
cute or-
that
no,
only
cute,
they
cute.
participate in. No shit if a white boy goes there, he's going to get sick. We don't need a documentary on something you have to clickbait people with
Anybody
potential
goes there,
death
they'll
for.
get
Look
sick
at you
if
guys,
it's
put
dirty.
through
I don't know,
these
fuck.
words.
Or
We didn't
somebody
Tyler
from
Oliveira
not from the
to tell us
area.
that. Also, nobody should be
You know,
doxing anyone. And I'll see you
they're
guys
exposed
tomorrow
to different
or Sunday.
things.
Peace.
I love him. He is awesome. And good for him for continuing to call out Tyler Oliveira because it's gross. It's just a very gross style of content creation that kind of like dog whistles to the lowest common denominator in terms of like class, ability to conceptualize even basic concepts that might be inconvenient to the person conceptualizing them. It's just so stupid. And for me, it's just a big, it's a big no thanks. It really is. It's a big fucking no thanks. Please and thank you, Toby. Okay, now, yeah, I'm worried if I get up here in a sec, it's going to knock me out of the fucking server, so. Okay, wait a minute. No. We don't need to do that then. Item, no. Hut! I'm sorry, he's being a fucking asshole. Toby, you were literally just out. I do not know what to tell you. I think I'm gonna undo that and you wait nicely. I cannot get up right now. I'm so sorry. Like, I don't know what to tell him. Okay. It's making me anxious. Buddy, I love you. You're gonna have to wait a minute. Okay? Actually, I think this is a good place to just take a quick pause. And we can do some more reaction here in a sec. Thank you, Toby. Thank you, Toby. Thank you. Okay, we watched that one. That's one we just saw. And yeah, hold on, Toby. He's gonna be so mad. Alrighty, Bubba. Another man on the street guy we can kind of debunk, right?
So it's funny because
Feel
every
free to
time I
watch
would
this. I'll
upload
be
a video
right
about
back.
Vitaly
And
catching
thank you. I
predators,
appreciate you,
everyone in the
Enzo. I'm
comments
so
would
sorry.
attack
I
me for
will
simply
literally be
saying
right
that
back if you want me to
Vitaly
switch
isn't helping
over.
anyone with these,
I
and he's
appreciate
not
you
gonna
so
have
much. I will
police
be
there,
literally
which is
right back.
100% true. If you're going out of your way to meet up with
Bah.
someone who's there to be
Okay.
a minor,
Christ,
you think
you
shaving
guys,
their
you're
head
being
is a
so
good
fucking
trade-off,
annoying.
or making them eat a
Ah,
chip, or
murder.
rubbing in their face, or
I'm
having
sorry.
a little pump
One
of
sec.
porn for them. Literally
You're
anything
me.
you can think of that
Shit.
isn't calling the police to get them arrested is what he likes to do.
You may go
Because,
quickly.
like I've said many times, and I am right
You may go
every time I
quickly.
say it, Vitaly doesn't care about catching predators. He cares about
You
going
may go
viral. Well,
very quickly,
he went
Toby.
pretty viral yesterday. So because he is in this for the views, none of what he does is handled professionally. Everything is always done last minute, and they're usually coming up with what they're gonna say or do to this person as they're on their way to meet them. Not even that, they never have a list of people who they're gonna meet up with, and instead just go by whoever is messaging them in the moment. So instead of planning this out so you get one predator right after another, they usually spend hours traveling to different locations each time to only maybe have the predator come up and meet them because they're like, isn't this kind of weird that you want to meet me at my house at 1 in the morning and you're 15? Don't you have parents? Like, as disgusting as these guys are, they know what they're doing. So if you're unprepared, don't expect this to go like how it goes down on To Catch a Predator. And I like how Vitaly tries to throw the police under the bus and say that they don't care about catching pedophiles because there are times when they call the police and they don't show up. Not because they don't care, but because they know that 99% of the people that they pick up from these streams never gets into any real trouble because once they start telling them what happened, they're like, oh, really? Yeah, maybe we should have arrested that guy who did that to you. What the fuck?
They're basically like, desk sergeant has said don't bring him in. There's nothing that the DA is going to do now. Just write it up, file it up, and that's all we can do now. LA is not going to prosecute pedophiles.
Like, if you're doing a predator catch and the police have every right to arrest you just as much as the predator, then you're obviously doing something wrong. But if you guys want to know the full lore behind this, you can clear your schedule and watch these 33 videos back to back, no skips, and then come back to this video. Or just sit back and relax. But yesterday, Vitaly did something that might actually ruin his career, and this is 1,000,000 times worse than what he did in the Philippines. But yesterday, or it might have been 2 days ago, but during one of Vitaly's predator catches, he falsely accused someone of being a predator. Now, the guy who I'm about to show you is not a predator. To be clear, he is not, nor has he ever been one. And I say that because if you've ever tried using iMovie to do this, just know that doing this takes a lot longer than you think it does. But anyways, the video starts in the middle of his catch because, spoilers, he was banned for this, so I can't go back and get the full clip like I usually do. But this clip starts out right when they meet up with the guy who they think is a predator, and right away, just because he's Indian, Vitaly starts singing in an Indian accent as this guy's trying to tell him that this is a mistake. But because, like I said, he cares more about going viral, he'd rather try and get a clip than listen to anything this guy's trying to tell him, even asking and saying that he wants to rape a 16-year-old over and over again to his face.
You wanna rape a 16-year-old? Wait, she never told me she was 16. Oh, she did. Where's the Bluetooth speaker, honey? Wait. Where's the Bluetooth? Where's the Bluetooth speaker, honey? Wait, no. Honey bun. Honey bun.
You added me on Snapchat.
Honey bun. Bluetooth speaker. Honey bun.
Look at the messages right here.
Wait, where did she? I swear to God, she never told me she was 16. I swear.
Oh shit! My bad, bro. You're good.
No, I swear to God.
Sorry, bro. Wrong person.
Maybe it's a misunderstanding.
Wait, no, dude, listen. 18. I swear to God, I don't move like that.
So you trolling too?
If you actually defended this guy, like this person did, and this person, and this person, and this person, and this person, and especially this person, then what the fuck do you retards have to say now? I told you this was gonna happen, but I literally had people questioning me like it wasn't obvious what he was doing from the start, which is trying to go viral. If he happened to get a predator arrested while doing so, that was an added bonus for him. An added bonus. He is doing predator catching streams where getting them arrested is something that might happen. But you see what I mean? Instead of acting like a professional in this situation where you shouldn't be joking around, Vitaly is over here dancing like this isn't making everything for him that much worse. Like, regardless of who they are or what they were there or weren't there to do, being racist is always going to make you look bad, no matter the situation.
Oh, we got the messages.
No, she said maybe it's a misunderstanding.
Oh, he probably deleted it on his end. No, wait, I swear to God. Wait, I swear to God.
Okay, she's gonna pull up right now.
Yeah, wait, please pull it up. But
why do you talk to girls about raping them? You crazy?
Yeah, you. Okay, wait, it's a CNC kink. It's a public kink. Like, I even said, wait, I have the text. Right here. I told her, consensual, non-consensual. I told her up here, look.
What does it say?
So I told her
what
that.
What does it say, Vitaly?
Listen, Neon. Let me read this real quick.
Wait.
Now, if you don't know what CNC is, like he said, it's consensual, non-consensual. Basically, it's like a fetish that people have where they consent to having non-consensual sex. It's like a roleplay thing, which is why he keeps saying that he wants to rape her. He read what he said and took it literal, which I guess you can't blame him. It's weird, I'll say that, but does it make him a pedophile? Absolutely not. Especially if he was talking to someone who was of legal age. Like, the fact that they're going back and forth arguing with this guy because they don't even know if he's for sure the predator or not should already tell you that Vitaly doesn't care about catching anyone.
He said, LOL, you can tell me. Fuck, okay, I want to be totally honest before everything. I lied on there. I'm 16, but shit.
Wait.
Don't make it weird, please.
Wait, I'm calling the cops right now.
You said, You said, look.
Wait.
Wow, let me get it.
Wait, no.
Don't touch me, motherfucker.
No, that's not me.
Look, why are you shaking?
I'm Akash, AXS 1286. That's not my account.
No,
hey, buddy, you pulled up.
Notice how this retard walks away after he tells her he's not the same guy she's been messaging? She needs to be in just as much shit as Vitaly, because how the fuck are you going to start reading off messages like they were his without even knowing if he's the right person you were messaging? Like, yeah, sure, he happened to pull up to the same spot you wanted to meet the Predator at, but you're in public, you fucking dummy. Chances are you're going to run into someone while doing these half-ass catches, and unfortunately for this guy, it happened to him. And the fact that he calls the police is hilarious. Think about that. Had he been a predator, which he's not, he was the one who called the police, not the people trying to catch the predator, but the guy who they thought was one. The predator catchers didn't call the police. The guy who they thought the predator was did. Are you picking up what I'm throwing down? Also, this guy, it's Gabe IRL on Instagram, is probably the worst guy to ever bring to one of these.
Yeah,
Wait,
you swear now.
No.
You have two Snapchats. We're not fucking
Please
stupid.
read the text. Please, someone, please. Someone, please read the text.
The police will come and read it.
Yeah.
Oh, he's one of those, you're one of those tech Indians, smart ones, huh? Two Snapchats?
No.
Motherfucker.
What's the name of his company?
Wait.
What's the name of his company so we can let everybody know that the pedophile is this company?
Josh, so what do you think? What's your take on it? What do you think happened? He deleted the Snapchat? Like, what happened?
Yeah, no, he
so she
either
broke
deleted the snaps or he fucking has a burner snap that he used. We're not stupid. We do this every day. You know how many weirdos like
But if she's talking to him on one snap, why would she go to another snap?
You have a second phone? No, that's the same snap she uses every day. He's only talked to you on one snap. He's trying to cover it up. But yeah, he was talking to her.
So you think he hacked the system?
He's fucking up himself. You were talking to her on Snapchat, but yeah, we only have one snap that connects to you.
No, guys, listen.
Guys.
I did not talk to her on Snapchat. I sent her this. Look, okay, wait. What time is it? At 7:29. At 7:29.
Where is toy?
Yes.
The same shit that you were saying on the way here.
That's dirty
It's the
talk.
same fucking person. It's dirty talk. No, it's fucking pedophile talk when you're talking to a 16-year-old.
Yeah, no, this is going great. The guy who has a fucking nutsack tattooed on his face is really making this situation go super smoothly. Like, they still haven't been able to prove that he is the guy. This stupid bitch from before is hiding in the shadows, not saying anything, because even she realizes that they have the wrong guy now. But do you think she's gonna say anything after Nutface over here thinks he cracked the case of the missing Snapchat? Yeah, good luck. Like, instead of letting this guy explain to them that he isn't the guy they're looking for, they just keep yelling at him.
Don't look at me in my eye, bitch. I'll fucking fuck you up, bro.
I'm not trying to fight. Listen, I'm not a violent person. I'm not trying
We're not trying to fight you, too.
You're not a violent person with men, but you want to a little girl.
No.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, oh my.
You're gonna get real violent and fuck her throat in an alley, right?
No.
You walked her like a dog by her neck. How about I walk you like a dog down this fucking park?
No, I thought that.
Damn, dog.
How about I walk you by your neck like you just did to her, right?
Homie, damn.
Should I do it?
Damn.
Should I walk you like a dog to your car?
Why did you just get blocked then?
Why did you just block her while you're on your phone? You just blocked her while you're on your phone. He just blocked her. He just blocked her.
Wait. I did not block her. When did I block her?
Now she's accusing him of blocking her while this guy's yelling at him? This has to be the stupidest bitch I've ever seen. He is literally in the middle of being verbally abused by this guy, but somehow managed to block her? There's no way a group of adults can be this retarded.
Wait, no, dude.
He has two burgers.
Wait, guys.
How the f*** am I blocked for not talking to you?
Wait, blocked 2 seconds ago now.
Your Bitmoji looks exactly the same, bro.
This is a circus.
Looks exactly the same on that account, you dumbass. It looks exactly like
it's you, bro.
Wait, I'm on camera.
You know the fans know what's up,
I'm not
right?
even on my phone.
You know the fans know what's up, right?
Literally, he just said, I'm on camera. How did I block her? Like, now they're accusing him of having a second Snapchat. Like, they're trying to find anything that proves he's the guy, but have nothing. All they're doing is screaming in his face, not giving him a chance to show them that they have the wrong guy.
You probably blocked
This is a
Zoom.
Notice how he isn't yelling anymore, because now even Vitaly knows that they fucked up. Like, if it's been this long and you still can't prove that this is the guy, then you either have to let him go or you keep trying to make him admit something that he was never there to do. And unfortunately for Vitaly, he picked the latter of the two.
I'm screenshotting everything.
He watched you. You've been tapping shit and deleting shit, bro.
It's some type of prank.
It's not some type of prank. We caught you trying to f a little girl.
Wait.
Is it a prank that you were trying to f a little girl? Is that a prank? Is it a prank that you were walking her like a dog?
So apparently this guy and his wife John Pork, or whatever her name is, are the two people who Vitaly had be his decoys. Nowhere on his account does it show that this guy does this for a living, so why Vitaly chose them to be the decoys makes about as much sense as having them there in the first place. Imagine letting this guy bring his pet pig to squeal all over you, only for you guys to be wrong.
Oh, look at you!
So
we seen your dick.
Guys, let's all, yo, guys, everybody just cut it. Yo, hold on. Let's start from the beginning. Hey, what do you mean? So she got the... Guys, stop. What do you mean by wrong text messages?
Okay,
just explain.
Okay, look.
Yeah, let me hear your side of the story. Everybody gets to speak.
Okay, yeah.
Go ahead.
So, okay.
But, Gabe, I asked you, bro. please.
Okay. So, I mean, I'm gonna just show you everything one by one, okay?
But you are Indian, so you are smart, so you probably cheated the system.
No, but for Indian...
Bro, again in the middle of me talking, bro, I asked you guys. Holy shit, I was just perfectly, I was getting a perfect farm clip, and then somebody had to... Okay, hello, how are you?
How did it take you idiots, and I'm sorry, but you guys are, but how did it take you idiots over a year to realize that Vitaly doesn't care about catching predators? He even admits that he's just trying to get a clip, and you'll still defend him. Like, mind you, they're 1,000,000% sure that this is the guy they're looking for, and even have proof apparently, but they have still yet to call the police. They haven't even said anything about getting him arrested, but still, they're like, this is the guy! Meanwhile, the actual predator that they were supposed to meet up with is watching this all go down from his car, being like, thank God I stopped to put gas. On to the next one. Now, the cops do eventually show up and then ask to talk to the girl who was apparently messaging him.
I'm
and
here.
Then that's
I'm
where
going
the
to
clip
switch
ends.
over in
However,
just a
as
sec.
most of you know, it came out that this guy was in fact not a predator, forcing Vitaly to issue an apology saying, "It has come to my attention that on our recent episode of Catching Child Predators, my team and I mistakenly portrayed Akash as a child predator. This was a mistake that I deeply regret. He never intended to meet with a man and has been cleared of all wrongdoing. I apologize to Mr. Singh, his family, friends, and everyone affected by this mistake.
Wow.
To be clear, the work we do to expose predatory behavior is of the utmost importance. But in doing so,
Okay,